For the White Sox, the ninth inning for the last 2 days has been anything but quiet. They've scored 5 runs each day, and last night it was enough to overcome a Seattle 4-3 lead and win 8-4. They were down to their final out when John Cangelosi's single scored Ozzie Guillen to tie the game at 4, and then Carlton Fisk 2-run double to put the Sox ahead to stay. They were RBIs 3 and 4 that night for Fisk. Tonight, it's Game 2 of the 4-game series live from the Kingdome in Seattle. The Sox 32 Sports Network presents Chicago White Sox baseball. Live from the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, it's the Chicago White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. The starting pitchers tonight for the White Sox, Joel Davis. For the Mariners, Mike Moore. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Kingdome. I'm Don Drysdale along with Frank Messer. Happy that you've joined us tonight. Game 2 of the 4-game series, and the White Sox, well, they won a thriller last night. Down 4-0. They battled back, made it 4-2, 4-3. Finally, they tied the ball game and ended up winning, and it looked like a large score if you picked up the paper today, Frank, by a score of 8-4. But they have definitely come back in the ninth inning the last 2 days, and that is a promising thing.
Well, it certainly is, and most promising last night, I think, was Kittle breaking out of his slump, getting a base hit to lead off that ninth inning. Cangelosi, a key base hit, and the big guy, Carlton Fisk, as you mentioned, 4 runs batted in on the ball game, including the winners. And Joel Davis will hope that they can give him that kind of hitting support tonight.
Well, Joel Davis, in the last couple of starts, he's been struggling a little bit, and hopefully, he can get things straightened away right here at the Kingdome.
Well, that's very true. In fact, Joel, his last 3 starts has pitched a total of 11 innings. Last time out, only 5 innings, 105 pitches, so he's got to pick that up.
Well, you've got 2 young right-handers out there that can beat you any night, any day, if they're right. Moore and Davis will give you the starting lineups right after this commercial timeout.
This Chicago White Sox game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Hi, blew a little smoke ring. Cute. I used to be able to do that. Yeah. Let's check the Sox starting lineup for tonight's ball game. John Cangelosi will be in center field and lead things off. Carlton Fisk will catch and bat second. Harold Baines plays right field and hits third. Greg Walker, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Jerry Hairston will be in left field tonight with Ron Kittle, the DH. Tim Hewlett at third base. Ozzie Guillen, yes, he will start at shortstop tonight. And Julio Cruz will be at second base. On the mound for the Sox, right-hander Joel Davis. A record of 3 wins and 3 losses. Davis has pitched in 12 games, all starts. He has 1 complete game to his credit. 75 innings pitched. He's walked 40, struck out 46, and has an earned run average of 4.30. He'll pitch to a Mariner batting order of Harold Reynolds at second base, John Moses in center field, Phil Bradley in left, Alvin Davis at first, Jim Presley at third, Ken Phelps, the DH tonight. Dave Henderson will be in right field, Spike Owen at shortstop, and Bob Kearney takes over the catching duties with Steve Yeager resting. On the mound for the Seattle Mariners, Mike Moore, right-hander with a record of 3 wins and 6 losses for the season. In 13 starts, 3 and 6, and an earned run average of 4.13. He has pitched 98 innings. He has 5 complete games to his credit. He has walked 44, make that walk 35, and struck out 51 men. The plate umpire tonight is John Hirschbach. Rocky Rowe at first base, Nick Bremigan at second base, and Larry Barnett, the crew chief, will call the plays at third. Bremigan, out of action last night with a stomach virus, is back in uniform and working tonight and feels much better. Thank you. John Cangelosi set to lead things off for the White Sox as they try to make it 2 in a row indoors here at the Kingdome, and all set to tell you all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Don Drysdale.
Thank you very much, Frank, and once again, good evening, everyone. John Cangelosi to lead it off. He'll be followed by Fisk and then Baines. Mike Moore ready to go to work, and first ball hitting. Cangelosi bounces to Reynolds, who throws him out. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that will bring on Carlton Fisk. Checking the Mariner defense, you will have Presley at third with Owen at short, Reynolds at second, and Davis at first. And the outfield, Bradley, Moses, and Henderson from left to right, and the battery of Kearney and Moore. Now here's Fisk getting 222, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs. Carlton, big night last night as he drove in 4 with Baines on deck. Now the infield straight away, the outfield the same, and Moore ready to go to work. And delivers low. The count 1-0.
Carlton had the game winner last night for the 3rd time this season with his double in the 9th, scoring Bradley and Cangelosi.
The 1-0 pitch to Fisk. That's cued foul right side. 1-1 the count.
You know, Don, we talk about the big guy, Fisk, getting the base hit there to win the ball game. Very, very true. But one of the little guys, Cangelosi, had a base hit in the inning to keep the inning alive.
Well, that's it. It had not been for John Cangelosi right there and out, and the ball game is over, and the Sox lose 4-3. They appeal. They say no. And we'll check the Sox coaches. You have Joe Nossick at third with Eddie Brinkman at first. The count 2-1 with 1 out. Fisk has 7 hits and 7 RBIs in his last 3 ball games. That's hit hard and foul deep left side, way back up and in the second deck, bouncing down to the lower deck and all the way back down to Phil Bradley in left field. There's Baines on deck.
That looks like Moore came in on Fisk with that last pitch. Carlton turned on it and pulled it well foul.
So the count 2-2. Struck him out.
Well, we'll take a look at that last pitch. Low out of the strike zone, breaking down, and Carlton swung over the top of it.
Here's Harold Baines. Harold hitting .305. He has 10 home runs, 42 RBIs, 2 outs, and the Sox first. Taken low, the count 1-0. Harold is hit safely in 9 of his last 11, 14 of his last 17. He's had home runs in his last 2 ball games. Off-speed pitch taken outside, the count 2-0.
Put a little icing on the cake last night with that 9th inning home run.
Ooh, boy, that got out in a hurry.
Yeah, following Fisk's double.
There you see Greg Walker on deck. High to left, Bradley coming to the line, lots of room. And the Sox are gone 1-2-3 in the first inning. And after the first half inning of play, it's the White Sox nothing and the Mariners coming up.
And Joel Davis ready to take on the Mariners. Joel is making his 13th start of the year. He has pitched 1 complete game, 3 wins, 3 losses. He's allowed 76 hits in 75 innings, walked 40, struck out 46. There are the figures. And Davis, as we mentioned, his last 3 times out, he has not pitched that well, although he has picked up 1 win in his last 3 outings, 1 win and 2 losses. Sox defenses with Hairston in left, Cangelosi in center, Baines in right, Hewlett and Ginn on the left side of the infield, Cruz and Walker on the right side. Fisk will do the catching. As we mentioned, Davis in his last start, that was against Oakland. He got a win, but it was not a a pretty win. He threw 105 pitches, Don, in 5 innings.
And he will face Harold Reynolds here in the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Reynolds, Moses, and Bradley. And the first pitch outside, the count 1-0. Two balls and no strikes. Reynolds hitting .250 without a home run. He has 8 RBIs. Hewlett up inside the bag at third. Cangelosi playing well over into left center. And there's a strike in the count, 2-1. Your Mariner coaches, Ozzie Virgil over at third and Darren Johnson at first. Down ball to Walker, and he'll go to the bag and do it himself. 1 away. And that'll bring on John Moses. Moses at .250 with a home run and 7 RBI. Now you're talking about Davis in his last 3 outings against Toronto, Texas, and Oakland. He's gone, as you mentioned, at the top 3 2/3, 2 1/3, and 5. Right there, that equals 11 in 3 starts. He has a win and 2 losses. Moses can't get that fastball, and the count is 0-1.
Prior to those 3 starts, Davis had 2 excellent outings. 9-inning complete game 1, and then he went 9 innings in the 17-inning loss against Kansas City.
There you see the Mariners are 1-8 on Friday the 13th. And it's 0-2.
What is that word for the figure 13? Triskaidekaphobia? Those who do not like the figure 13 are triskaidekaphobiacs. Is that right?
I have not heard that.
I haven't either. I just made it up. But the Mariners are triskaidekaphobiacs. That's not dirty.
0-2 the count. And that's it, foul. Look out to the Sox bullpen. Little ball girl down there went to play that off of the carom, off of the wall, and almost got picked off. There's Bradley on deck. Now Davis out in front, 0-2. Outside, and the count 1-2. White Sox starting tonight at 25 and 33. There's still that 8-game difference to that 500 mark. 8 games behind Texas. The Mariners a record of 22 and 39. They are 12.5 back. A ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball. Hewlett bobbles. Now picks up, throws low. They get him. There's that carpet hop right there. And Walker stayed with it.
Let's check it again on the replay. You'll see Hewlett dribble this ball before he gets a handle on it. Right there. Now the dribble. Pick it up. Hurries his throw. Skips it in to Walker. And a nice pickup by Walker. Another angle on it. He's got it. He doesn't. He's got it again. One hopper to Walker. Close play at first base. Moses out. 2 down.
And it will bring on Phil Bradley. Well, there's the kind of throw that Davey Concepcion with Cincinnati started. Bradley down the right side. That is slicing foul. And the count is 0-1. Bradley fighting a little 0-for-8 streak. Hitting .241. He has 2 home runs and 7 RBIs.
Tell me more about Davey Concepcion.
Well, he started that ball over in the hole, and he'd go over there instead of trying to make that long throw in the air all the way across. Why, he'd skip it across.
Even on grass?
Not on ground, the surface. On the artificial surface. There's a broken bat looper. Walker giving chase, and he'll not be able to catch up, and Ozzie Guillen will go pick up some firewood for this winter.
Yeah.
Alvin Davis on deck.
Just looking here at the top 4 men in the batting order for the Mariners. Last night they went a combined 1 for 16. Sox pitchers handled the top of the batting order very well.
0-2 the count. Up high, the count moves to 1-2. 2 outs, no score, and we're in the bottom of the first inning.
In fact, you can go back a little further. 12 ups against Cowley last night. The top 3 men in the batting order, Reynolds, Moses, and Bradley, did not get the ball off the infield.
There's a bouncer. Hewlett backs up on the big hop. Long throw, and this time it skips by. Bradley going to second. Cruz going over, and it skips by Gee, and he says, I'll handle it. Get back to where you are. Now that time the ball did not skip on the carpet. It skipped on the dirt, and you get a different hop.
Well, let's check it again on the replay. You'll see Hewlett back off on the ball right there. Over the top throw, and it hits in the dirt and skips by Walker. Look at it from another angle. You always, I think, an infielder has trouble when he backs off on that ball. He tries to hurry the throw, threw it in the dirt, skip by, and now Cruz recovers quickly, fires it on to second base, hits the runner going in, bounces away from Guillen, but Ozzie runs it down, and into second base Bradley. I think he ripped up his uniform pretty good with that head-first slide. Maybe he didn't rip it up, just pulled the snaps loose as he went in.
And that'll bring on Alvin Davis. Well, what happens a lot of times, whether it's Timmy Hewlett or whoever, that'll be an air charge to Hewlett, especially the third baseman. When they get in that position, it's sometimes even at the hole in short. The infielder will have a tendency to drop down. There's a shot, center field. Cangelosi is right there, makes a catch. So the side is retired. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left, and after 1, no score.
Well, let's look at the schedule in the American League. Milwaukee at Boston, Kansas City at California, and Detroit at Toronto. If the fog, I guess, is lifted up in Toronto, they can play that ball game. Ended last night when a home run ball disappeared in the fog. Minnesota at Cleveland, New York at Baltimore, and the Texas Rangers are in Oakland. National League, the Cards and the Cubs for a doubleheader. Pittsburgh and New York, and Montreal to Philadelphia. Cincinnati, Atlanta, San Francisco at Houston, and the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. Right here we have no score as we go to the second, Don.
And Walker standing in with the count 1-0. He'll be followed by Hairston and then Kittle. And hit off the fist, but it'll be a foul ball. Just foul. Just outside the line.
As Gray comes back to try it again, we'd like to send along a big White Sox welcome to all our affiliates. WYZZ TV in Bloomington. Here it is again. Let's see how close that ball is, just by inches. Well, you've got a good eye there, Mr. Drysdale. I thought that ball was right on the chalk line. Mr. Drysdale called it right away, foul ball, and no argument from anybody. We also have WRSP TV in Springfield, WQRF TV in Rockford, WXIN TV in Indianapolis, WAYK TV in Palm Bay, Florida, KLJB TV in Davenport, Iowa, and our flagship station, WFLD TV, Fox Incorporated in Chicago.
And the next pitch to Walker taken low, the count 2-1. Greg hitting .298, 7 home runs and 19 RBIs. Foul left side and out of play. And the count is 2-2.
Cute little camera shot out there if we could get it. The sun is shining into the Kingdome. Just out to the behind second base over toward right center field. You ever seen the sun shining in the Kingdome?
Yeah, that door out in deep left
Oh, you
center.
ruined it all now.
Well, no, it can't be. Now it left, so it had to come from some other place. Come over down the left field line. There's a looper down that left field line, foul, and Presley won't be able to catch up to it. But it is something to sit in here and look out through those doors out there. There's one in deep left center field, and there it comes again through down the left side.
There's the door open, and the sun is back. There's a little sunspot. You know, you could get the sun in your eyes inside the Kingdome. Might help.
The weather has just been beautiful. There's a bouncer hit to Davis. He underhands to Moore. One away.
I was out here in Seattle. I don't remember what year it was. It was in the current regime, the Seattle Mariner regime, although I was out here also with the Seattle Pilots in '69 when they were here. But I came in here and they had an all-time record 3 days of heat. I think it was 97, 98 degrees 3 days in a row, and they said that broke all records. But today and yesterday, you could not ask for nicer weather, could you?
Oh, it was beautiful.
Just lovely.
Here's Jerry Hairston hitting .229, 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Takes low and the count 1-0. And the count 2-0. Yeah, we certainly, I would like to pass along, and I know you do too, Frank, because you've had a lot of association with Gene Michael, former teammate of mine, and now the new manager of the Chicago Cubs, and we congratulate him and wish him well.
Certainly do. I had very fine association with Gene Michael in his days with the Yankees. Now there's a man, Don, who has held every possible position in the game of baseball, I think.
3-0. See if this is automatic. Just outside, and it's ball 4. Moore wanted it, and so did Kearney. Hirschbeck said no.
Gene Michael has been a player at the minor league level and the major league level. He has been a coach. He's been a scout. He has been a manager on the field. He's been a general manager. I don't know of any position in the game, really, that he has not at one time or another held.
Well, he's back on the field right now. Here's Ron Kittle hitting .189. 1 ball and no strikes the count. On deck, Timmy Hewlett, as Harold Reynolds comes in to talk to Moore, and he might just want to double check on the signs that they're using.
When Kittle got a base hit, you look at Hewlett on deck. When Kittle led off the 9th inning with a base hit that led to the game-tying run last night, it was only his 2nd hit in his last 28 at-bats, but it was at a very opportune time.
Fouled right side, and the count 1-1.
You know, great thing about the game of baseball, Don, when you come from behind late in the ball game and win it, there are so many key things you can talk about. By the same token, when you lose a 1-run ball game, you can go back, as you and I were talking about on the plane the other night, and pick out so many reasons why you could have, how you could have won that game.
Boy, that is true. That is out of play, and the count 1-2.
Last night was more fun.
Well, when the Sox show you their record this year, when they've been trailing after 7 innings, their record is 5-24, and when they're trailing after 8 innings, they're 3-27. So that'll show you right there they have not come back hardly at all. Bouncer foul, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the other hand, when they have been ahead after your 6 innings, they're 15-5. After 7 innings, they're 16-6, and after 8 innings, they're 19-2. It behooves them to take a lead down low. 2-2 the count, as those numbers will verify. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony La Russa down in the Sox dugout. Ozzie Guillen on the right, Fisk on the left. Two and 2 the count, 1 out, no score, top of the 2nd. Texas has taken a 1-0 lead at Oakland in the 2nd inning, and Kansas City has jumped on California 4-0 there in the 2nd inning. Struck him out. Cleveland over Minnesota 11-2, and Detroit over Toronto 10-5. Boston over Milwaukee 5-3.
Well, there's the last pitch, and again, that ball moving down. Good sinker there from Moore, and he had Kittle, I think, swinging at a pitch that may have been low out of the strike zone. A second strikeout to go with one walk.
And it'll bring on Timmy Hewlett. Tim hitting .281. He has 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. The count. You know what's amazing when you look at Mike Moore, a record of 3-6 in those 5 complete games, and evidently they could have been some tough losses.
Yeah.
ERA of 4.13, making his 14th start of the year.
Well, he's a workhorse. He goes out there. You got a chance to send your bullpen home for a night. That's great to have a pitcher like that on your staff. He had 14 complete games last year out of 36 starts, 35 starts.
There's a high chopper. Owen, short way to second. They get the force, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left after 1.5, no score.
Now to attend a White Sox game with a group of your friends. Sox baseball is always more fun when it's enjoyed with a group. Call the Sox Group Sales Office during regular business hours, 924-1000, for information on group discounts, private parties, and fundraisers. That number again, 924-1000, and they'll see that your group gets the best seats in the ballpark.
And Jim Presley will lead it off. He'll be followed by Phelps and then Henderson. Presley, coming into tonight's game, a 7-game hitting streak. And takes his strike with a breaking pitch, 0-1. Now, you were talking about, and I was talking about, Mike Moore, and you mentioned how he's the kind of guy that you could send your bullpen home for that evening. He'll go out there and go 9 for you. Talking to Dick Williams today. Prior to the game, you could leave today or tonight off. They could go home for the month of the year after last night's performance.
I'll tell you, that was something, wasn't it?
He was livid. High, way back. Hairston to the wall. This ball is gone.
The first hit of the ball game, home run number 12 on the year for Jim Presley, and the Mariners are out in front 1-0. Let's look at it again. Got a fastball, and he drilled it. Hit just as hard from that angle. You'll see Hairston go back to the wall, flatten himself there, and just watch the ball go. That's it. It's about 3 or 4 rows up in the seats in left field, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead.
And that'll bring on the designated hitter, Ken Phelps. And don't go to sleep on this man. He's hitting just .218, but he can lose it in a hurry. All of a sudden getting a chance to, get back in that lineup a little bit. 9 home runs, 17 RBIs. And those 9 home runs coming in 78 at bats.
That tells you something right there about his power, doesn't it?
I have sat here and watched him put on some of the doggonedest exhibitions in batting practice. That's low, and it's 3-0 with Dave Henderson on deck. And don't take this for granted. Dick Williams will not play by the book, and that is just about etched in stone. You saw that last night. We talked about it before it ever happened. They had the squeeze bunt. And then I said, don't be surprised if he does it again, except the Sox pitched out right on another attempted squeeze play. Ooh. 3-2 the count. Ken Phelps knows one thing. He will turn that bat loose. Somebody told him that, I'm sure, as a little boy, and he has remembered that well. And of course, as we said last night, you don't have to hit him a long way here at the Dome. 316 down each line. 410 to straightaway center. Walks him. And that'll bring on Dave Henderson. Henderson coming into tonight's game with a 6-game hitting streak. He has hit safely in 13 of his last 14, hitting .253, 10 home runs, 25 RBIs. With Spike Owen on deck. Now Phelps at first. Anderson pops it foul. That is coming over by the Sox dugout, and it'll be back in the seats.
They got to follow those balls over there, though, Don, because the speakers hang here, and if a ball hits one of those speakers, deflects back, falls down, it's playable. It's catchable.
That's right, and they can get up and they can hit that speaker on that side. On the two sides where the dugouts are, those things are definitely reachable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and 1 the count. Outside, the count 1-1. Outfield playing Henderson slightly to hit to the opposite field as he checks with Ozzie Virgil. There you see Harrison. He is deep. Cangelosi slightly in right center. Baines slightly to the line in right. Infield straight away. And the curveball high. The count 2-1.
Henderson's two-base hit in last night's ball game was to the right side of center field.
Two and 1 the count. There's a line drive up in the air. Cruz and takes a base hit away from Henderson. I think he jumped too soon. That fooled him.
I will take a look at it again here. Cruiser really jumped and then had to extend even past there. But he hauled it in. Last night, as I recall, the two-base hit by Henderson, Cruz just got a finger perhaps on it. But the ball went on through.
Here's Spike Owen hitting .254. He has a 4-game hitting streak. Without a home run, he has 12 RBIs. And Bob Kearney, the catcher, on deck. Ken Phelps at first. It's 1-0 Seattle. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Well, that time right there, Henderson got that ball out on the end of the bat. And I think Julio thought it was going to come at him a lot harder. And what it does, it almost had to hang there in suspended animation and make the catch.
That's right, because his body was going back down, but the arm had to go stretch out and pull it in.
And you put the extenders out.
Amazing how those arms can grow sometimes. 3-4 inches.
Especially when they shorten up when you're reaching for a check. There it is. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pockets get deep.
Short arms, deep pockets. Huh?
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's a shot. Good play by Cruz, and they bobble the ball. Well, we'll see how they score it.
Everybody's looking up at the scoreboard to see how they're going to score it.
See whose fault it is.
There's a hard shot. Great play right there by Cruz. Now he sort of sends a knuckleball off the fingertips of Guillen, covering at second base. Looked like Guillen might have closed his glove on that one. If we get a closer look right here, now Cruz sort of shot put it to him, trying to get the play there after making a really fantastic stop. They're going to score that one by committee.
I think so. They're fortunate that Cruz did stop that ball, because Cangelosi was so far in left field, that ball would have gone all the way to the center field wall. What did they give him? A base hit? A what?
Base hit.
How in the world can you give him a hit? Bob Kearney takes up high.
Well, you call your committee together and take the vote, which they obviously have done.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen some scoring this year. Well, not only just recent, the last few years. I mean, it is unbelievable.
Well, now you're not going to be like Frank White, are you? See
no,
what Frank White
I don't know
said?
what Frank. Oh no, what Frank? No. I mean, that has got to be an error.
Once Cruz catches the ball, you're right.
That's down low, and the count 2-0. Let's look at that again. Now, Phelps, all he's got to do is toss it to Guillen. That's where it is. Ozzie just didn't catch it. It was going to be a little tough play for Ozzie, because he was coming hard at the bag. Somewhere along the line, that has to be an error on one of the two. But they say, what the heck. Give him a base hit. And as Dave Duncan goes out to the mound, he wants to talk with Fisk and Davis.
Well, maybe they couldn't figure out which one to give the error to, and just said, well, let's make it a base hit, and that takes care of everything.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
Now everybody's happy, except for the pitcher.
And Dave Duncan. Davis he's had some problems lately. He's had some all of a sudden control of Joel Davis from what we saw at the start of the year till the last few starts has gone south on him. Trying to find it.
Like we mentioned, his last start, 5 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 105 pitches in those 5 innings. Now he was 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. A lot.
And right here, he's 2-0 to Kearney with Phelps at second and Owen at first. Phelps at second, Owen at first. Cruz trying to sneak in behind. That's outside on a breaking pitch, and it's 3-0.
Well, certainly Kearney is a man he doesn't want to walk. The man is not going to hurt you that much with the bat. He does not run that well. You got a ground ball, you got a double play, you're out of the inning. You walk him, you got to go back up top to Harold Reynolds, a much more dangerous hitter.
And he does walk him. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. And that'll bring on, indeed, the leadoff hitter, Harold Reynolds. And the bell rings down in the Sox bullpen. Right-hander Dave Schmidt gets up, and he will start to toss. Now, Harold, you've got the left fielder, Jerry Harrison, shallow to the line in left, Cangelosi way over in left center, and the big gap in the alley in right center.
I'll tell you something, if he pulls this ball, it's going to look like the Boston Marathon. Everybody's going to be running.
It'll be the relay team. And he's not a bad anchor man. He has 15 stolen bases on the year. And he takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. They put the collar on Reynolds last night. He did not get the ball out of the infield. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout in there. And tonight he has bounced already to Walker, who has come in even with the bag. Hewlett, he is even with the bag at third. There's a high fly ball hit into shallow left center. Tagging is Phelps. Cangelosi with the catch, and the throw will be cut off.
A very, very big out right there for Joel Davis. I don't know what the byplay vocally is between Cangelosi and Baines. I saw Cangelosi with his hand up to his ear, asking Baines say it again, and then the big grin.
Now here's John Moses. You see his first career home run was against the White Sox in 1985. This year, John has one more. He had one in 85, the first one against the White Sox. He's had one here in 86 with 7 RBIs to go with the 250 mark. Bounced to Hewlett his first time at bat. Now the bases remain loaded, and it's still 1-0 Seattle. There's a line drive, base hit center field. That's going to score one, and now they might hold the runner. Nope, they're going to come across as they get him at home plate. So they run themselves out of an inning, but they pick up a run, and they lead it after 2-0. Well, on Sunday, July 6th, the Sox take on the New York Yankees. And the first 15,000 kids 14 and under who attend the game, they'll receive a free replica White Sox jersey, compliments of Coca-Cola. For tickets, call 559-1212. Use your charge card or stop by the ballpark. After 2-0 Seattle. Along with Frank Messer, I'm Don Drysdale. Happy you've joined us tonight. It's the second game of this 4-game series. 2 more to go. And right here, we go to the third. And to call it for you, here's Frank.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. And here we go with Ozzie Guillen, batting .233, a homer and 16 RBIs. Guillen appeared last night as a pinch runner in the ball game. In the air center field, Moses makes the play. Boy, that ball started to take off. Moses had him played shallow, but he ran it down.
Now that's as high as John Moses could jump. That ball really started to take off on him. He got a good jump and then timed everything perfectly after that.
So again, retired. Had an excellent play by Moses. And it'll bring on Julio Cruz. Cruiser went 0 for 4 last night. He's batting .227. No home runs, 8 RBIs. Back to the upper deck.
I think that takes more out of a hitter when they hit a line shot like that at somebody and they make a great catch on it. They take that back to the bench, and boy, they'll grind and grit and everything on that for a while. Just like a pitcher makes a good pitch and someone hits a shot somewhere.
Yeah. Or the umpire misses it.
Well, then everybody's mad.
A ball and a strike. 1 out. Mike Moore, 3 and 6 coming in. Left center field. That ball is well hit. Moses on the run again. He will not get it. It's off the wall. Nice carom play into second base and save. Cruiser with a double. I'll tell you, the way the ball came off that wall to Moses, I thought they were going to have a close play at second.
Well, they did have a pretty close play at second base as that ball was hit well over Bradley's head. Now watch the carom. Moses right there. If he doesn't have to wind up to throw it, it is going to be close. And Cruz just did get there. He couldn't lollygag around after that play was right in front of him and he saw the replay. He had to hustle.
Very strong, very accurate throw by Moses. That is the first base hit of the ball game for the Sox, who trail 2-0. And here's John Cangelosi, grounded out to Reynolds at second base, his first time at bat. Moore, coming into this game, had not fared well in his career against the Sox, winning 1 and losing 5 to the Chicago club over his career. Cruz at second base. Cruz has now hit safely in 8 of the last 10 Sox games as a starter. And Carlton Fisk waiting on deck with the count of a ball and a strike on Cangelosi. The Mariners lead it 2-0. In the air, right center field. That ball is pretty well hit, but the right fielder is going to get there. Henderson makes the catch. Cruz will tag and safe at third base. And I'll tell you, that is a close play at third.
I'll tell you another thing is that man in right field has got a rocket on him. And Cruz had to hustle all the way. If Presley goes down to his knee, as accurate as that throw was, he is gone. See the high fastball. Now Henderson getting back over and getting in position. And he can turn it loose. I'll tell you that. Cruz is going as hard as he can go. There you see, if that ball just was a shade to the left, boy, that is going to be even closer. He has got probably one of the strongest accurates arm in the league.
Put him right there. He and Barfield, Evans. All right, Fisk waves at a breaking ball. Carlton struck out in the first inning. Cruz at third, 2 down. And Moore is working from the stretch and set position rather than the windup. Fastball in. 1-1. I believe I understood Jimmy Anjo to say we're going to update all the scores when we come back for the bottom half of the third inning. So you can see who won and who lost and what's going on elsewhere. Foul back right below us. Quick out of a ball and 2 strikes on Carlton Fisk. Harold Baines is waiting on deck. You know, Don, we're talking about the great weather out here. I was talking to a cab driver last night going back to the hotel, and he was bemoaning the fact that there are no tourists here in Seattle. I mentioned what nice weather it was. Everybody is up in Vancouver, I guess, for the expo.
That's
exposition. Right. Whatever. Ball and 2 strikes to Pudge. Ground ball slowly at right side. Deflects a little bit off the dirt of the mound, but played by Reynolds. No runs. A wasted double by Cruz, who is left in the middle of the third. 2-0 Mariners.
There's some American League Finals. 5-3 Boston over the Brewers. 5-0 in the second inning. Kansas City over California. And the Tigers starting to roll around a little. 10-5 over Toronto. 11-2. Cleveland over Minnesota and Blyleven. 3-1. Yankees over Baltimore. 1-0. Texas over Oakland in the second. And there you see the Cardinals 1-0 over the Cubs in the first of a doubleheader. 6-5 Mets over Pittsburgh. 2-1 Philly over Montreal. And Atlanta 3-2 over Cincinnati. That's the final. And San Francisco 3-1 over Houston. And the Dodgers 3-2 over the Padres in the fourth.
All right, Don, and right now we'll go to the bottom half of the third inning with Phil Bradley, Al Davis, and Jim Presley coming on against Joel Davis. The Mariners are leading 2-0. A Presley home run, a walk to Phelps, who scored on a base hit by John Moses. Breaking ball has him swinging. Bradley reached on an error by Hewlett on a throw from third base in the first inning. Up high, and the count 1-1. Mariners 2 runs, 3 hits. The Sox no runs, 1 hit. Right side. Cruz throws him out easily, and there's 1 away. Mariners might or might not have had more runs in the bottom half of the second inning. Ozzie Virgil, the third base coach, waved Spike Owen on home from second base. He was tagged out easily on Cangelosi's throw to Fisk. Alvin Davis lined to center field his first trip. Here's a young man who really enjoys playing the game of baseball. Always has a smile on his face. Pass to pitcher Davis, and on through base hit. Oh, Davis picks up base hit number 4 for the Mariners.
You know, Frank, it wasn't just because of that base hit, but I was getting ready to comment. I said, I've never seen too many good hitters that walked around with frowns on their faces.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And Alvin Davis is a good hitter.
Well, I said he enjoys the game of baseball, and that's probably why he enjoys it, because he can play it well. He hits well, plays well down there at first base. Here's Jim Presley. Hit his 12th home run of the season, leading off the second inning. Second homer in his many nights. He went 3 for 4 last night with a home run off of Cali. Breaking ball, missing, ball 1.
I don't think Fisk really appreciates that call by John Hirschbeck. You're right there. That's where it was, John. Now, why didn't you call it?
To no strikes.
That second game, Frank, in Chicago this afternoon, it was 3-2. The Cubs had 2 good ball games. 1-0 first game Cardinals, 3-2 second game Cubs.
I don't know whether Michael was there to manage today or not.
I think Vuk was there today.
So he split today into well-played games. Foul ball, and the count will be 2-1.
Just watching from the center field camera shot, I have not noticed John Hirschbeck do this all the time, but he is on the move at the last minute. And I'll show you what I mean. He will move down as Davis starts his delivery. I don't remember John doing that. John's a good umpire. You get a variance in the American League umpires say. Now, some will just work from that position, even from an inside protectorate. Now, watch the last minute when he moves.
And the pitch fouled away. That little move right there where he ducks down.
Yeah. Some will get down a little bit quicker. And you just saw a hanging curveball that Mr. Presley fouled back.
Presley's home run in the second inning extended his hitting streak to 8. Ken Phelps is on deck. Alvin Davis down at first, 1 away, and the Mariners leading by a score of 2-0. Right back to Davis, may get 2. Bad throw. They don't get anybody. Davis throwing the ball away. Fielder's choice error.
Well, you can see Cruz pointing to Guillen all the way. Now, this is something a pitcher has to know right away. He's pointing to Guillen, and now he throws it behind Ozzie. But number one, you've got to know who's covering on the double play if that ball is hit back to you. Or you're in deep stew, and that's exactly what happened.
What happened to Don? Pitcher forget to find out, or what?
Well, I don't know what happened right there, but you could see that Joel was totally confused on what to do, and Cruz was pointing at Guillen. Your natural reflex and reaction on a play like that would be to go to the second baseman with a right-hand hitter up there. Unless they switch, and you've got to know who's coming. Before every pitch, you're supposed to turn around and look back there, and they will tell you, hey, a ball hit back to you, I'm covering. And that's it. So there should never be anything happen like that. You should always know who's covering.
Second Sox error of the game. And instead of having the side retired, or at least 1 out, or at least 2 outs, there's only 1 out, and runners at first and second. Phelps walked and scored in the second inning. He is quite unhappy at his role here in Seattle right now. Platooning as the DH, or alternating, not really platooning even. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck hitter is Dave Henderson.
You know, that's kind of interesting because over the last few years, when the White Sox have come in here, we have hardly seen Ken Phelps. And like I say, all we've seen is put him on some of the most awesome displays in batting practice. We just haven't seen him.
That is ball 3. Well, he's 1 pitch away from your seeing him walk to load the bases and not swing the bat.
Well, Joel's hands, his mechanics for the last few starts have been really botched up. I mean, you can just see even in the course of this game, he's throwing different from pitch to pitch.
That is ball 4. The bases are loaded. That'll move Davis to third, Presley to second, and Phelps walks for the second time. 3 walks given up by Joel Davis. And he'll work to Dave Henderson with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Tony La Russa there in the corner of the dugout, and seated next to him, Dave Duncan. Henderson lined out to cruise his first trip. They're still shading him over to that right side, Doc. Angelosi a bit to the right side of straightaway center. Breaking ball bounced down the third base line. That's foul.
Did you see the spin on that ball on the second hop it took? It started to kick back fair.
Really? I was going to say, I almost said there, you better slap at it and do something. That ball is going to come back fair. I thought it was. Never know when you beat a ball down on this artificial surface. No balls, 1 strike. The bases are loaded, 1 away, and the Mariners leading 2-0 here in the third. Bullpen is quiet. Strike. Got the outside part of the plate. Good pitch from Davis. So Joel in a jam, trying to work himself out of it. Bases loaded. Davis, Presley, and Phelps. Now Henderson now is going to make Davis wait. Davis made him wait. 0-2 count. Breaking pitch fouled away. Count holds 0-2. Henderson's been a pretty hot hitter of late as you look to the on-deck circle and spike on. 6 games in a row, 13 out of 14, batting .357, 20 hits in his last 56 at-bats. In the air, left center field. That's going to clean the bases. That will bring everybody home as the ball goes to the wall. 3 runs are going to score. Cangelosi's throw back holds Henderson at third base. A triple, 3 runs across, and the Mariners lead 5-0.
Well, 0-2, and he throws a fastball from the middle of the plate in, and all Henderson does is turn on it, drive it up the alley in left center, and once it gets by Cangelosi, it's depending now how many guys are going to score. And by the time John gets it back in, 3 score on the triple, and it is 5-0, and now Dave Schmidt will get up and start to throw in the Sox bullpen.
Henderson down at third base. That is his second triple of the year, giving him 28 runs batted in. And Schmidt in the bullpen. And Hewlett at the mound.
Al Hewlett, I'm sure, looked into the dugout, and they got word to go in and talk to him a little bit, taking up as much time. And John Hirschbeck says, let's go.
Spike Owen had a base hit in the second inning. That was the one we wondered about the official score on. The one hopper fielded by Cruz, and then he threw the ball away, or threw the ball to a point where it could not be caught by Guillen for a play at second. La Russa's on his way out now. You saw a moment ago Hewlett buying quite a bit of time at the mound. Let's see if he bought enough time to get Schmidt ready, or if La Russa wants to make that change. Looks like La Russa's barking just a bit out there, Don.
Well, he's a little hot, and he has a right to be. On that double play ball hit back to him by Presley, and threw it away, and all of a sudden it's led to 3 runs and still only 1 out, and you've got Henderson standing at third. So indeed that will get Tony's dander up a little bit as Dave Schmidt comes on. A break in the action with Seattle leading it 5-0. We have a pitching change as Dave Schmidt comes on. Dave with a record of 0-2 and a 4.70 ERA. Schmidt making his 19th appearance of the year. And David has a pair of saves. He's worked in 38 2/3 innings, allowed 45 hits, 22 runs, 20 earned. He's given up 4 home runs. He's walked 11 and struck out 27. So Dave Schmidt has to come on and restore some order right here in the Mariner third, as they have scored 2 in the second, 3 so far here in the third, and lead it 5-0.
We'll just get a note here. Davis threw 53 pitches, Don. So Dave Schmidt will be working to Spike Owen. With a runner at third, Henderson, and still only 1 out. And you look back on this inning, Bradley grounded out, then Al Davis singled, then the ground ball, one hopper right back to Joel Davis, and his bad throw to second base for an error. Could have been a double play, could have been out of the inning. But as it is, 3 runs were across, and the Mariners are still very much alive. Dave Schmidt pitched 3 nights ago against California, 1 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out a couple of guys. Dave Henderson at third base. That was not one of Schmidt's better outings, but prior to that he had a super outing, retiring the last 10 men in a row and saving a win for Joel Davis. That was the 8-5 ball game against Oakland. Schmidt pitched the last 4 innings. Allowed 1 hit, walked nobody, and struck out 6. Ball 1 to Spike Owen. Infield in with 1 out, runner at third. Mariners on top, 5-zip. 2 balls and no strikes. They squeezed last night, did the Mariners, for the first time this year, and then they had another one backfire on a pitch out, so I think they are now 1 out of 5 in squeeze situations. bouncer right side. That'll hold the runner at third, and Cruz will go to first base. 2 down. Henderson holding. Cruz looked over there, saw Henderson not coming, and threw Owen out. 2 away to Bob Kearney, the catcher. Kearney walked in the second inning. Now with 2 outs, the infield can back off, and they really back off deep. Kearney does not run that well. Both Cruz and Guillen back in the outfield. No balls and a strike. Harold Reynolds is the on-deck batter.
Kearney was standing over there trying to get as close behind home plate as he could to watch Dave Schmidt pitch to Spike Owen. He threw him the first 2 palm balls that were balls, and then threw him a fastball that he bounced out on. Threw Kearney the palm ball. He was way out in front. There's another one.
And nice play by Guillen. If he can throw him out, the run will score, and he's safe at first. Base hit for Kearney, a run batted in, his 7th of the year. And the Mariners now lead 6-0.
Well, he came back with another one, and he just found the right spot. It was a good pitch by Dave Schmidt, but when you find those kind of holes, look at the throw. There's that artificial surface throw by Ozzie. Kearney had to hustle hard all the way down the line.
And he closed the book on Joel Davis tonight. 2 1/3 innings, 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. Harold Reynolds 0 for 2 has bounced out to Walker and flied to center. Caught by Hewlett. That'll retire the side, but the Mariners score 4 times, and at the end of 3, it's Seattle 6 and the Sox nothing. Trail 6-0. Well, the Sox have been coming from behind in ball games of late. Let's see if they can do it tonight. Still a long way to go. Baines flied to left, his first at bat. And a base hit for Harold as he lines one out over second. The Sox second hit. Harold checks in with Eddie Brinkman, the first base coach. And Greg Walker, the batter. Walker grounded out to the first baseman Davis, to the pitcher Moore covering his first at bat. Strike 1. Little base hit a moment ago. Harold Baines now has had at least 1 hit in 10 of his last 12 ball games. 16 for 43. You want to figure it up. 3-1 by. 0-2. Mike Moore in his 14th start of the year. He has pitched 5 complete games coming in. Nobody in the league has started more than 14 games this year. Caught by the second baseman. I'll tell you that Reynolds has been finding the baseball the last couple of nights, Don. Or the baseball has been finding him.
That they've had that atom ball going. He gets the ball in on Walker. Didn't hit it hard, but he hit it right at the second baseman. Of course, Baines wasn't that far off the bag at first and able to get back. He starts. He says, "Whoops, I saw you there last night a couple of times."
Yeah. Let's see. Reynolds last night had 8 chances in the ball game. Jerry Hairston walked his first trip. So far tonight, Reynolds has had 4 chances. 2 assists, 2 putouts. 2 balls and no strikes. Ron Kittle waiting in the on-deck circle. Mariners out in front by a score of 6-0. This Mariner ball club has been scoring a lot of runs of late. 3 balls and no strikes. In addition to Mike Moore, Mike Smithson of Minnesota and Frank Viola of Minnesota have also started 14 games this year. That's a strike, and it's 3-1. Ball 4. So Hairston walks for the second time tonight. That'll push Baines down to second base, and with 1 out, the batter Ron Kittle. Moore's now struck out 2 and walked 2, and allowed 2 base hits. Kittle struck out in the second inning. Did he go around? He did. That pitch well out of the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike. Mariners lead 6-0. Inside, 1-1. Baines down at second base. Hairston at first, 1 away. Nice play by Kearney, digging it out of the dirt. And plate umpire John Hirschbeck will check the baseball, take it out of play. 2 balls and a strike on Kittle. Liner base hit into left field. Baines will come around to score. Hairston will stop at second base, and Ron Kittle has driven in his 25th run of the year. So the Sox are on the board. It is now 6-1 with Timmy Hewlett scheduled up.
Well, they keep trying to work that fastball. That time they didn't get it in on him enough as he lines it over Owens' head. They have no chance to get Baines, but they hold Harrison at second.
And now Timmy Hewlett. Hewlett is tied for the league lead in triples with Spike Owen also appearing in this ball game tonight. Both men have 5. Hard slider from Moore. Wade Boggs of Boston leads the league in hitting at 389. Kirby Puckett of Minnesota has the most hits in the league going into tonight's action, 93 base hits, and third in the league in hitting at 359 behind Boggs and Yount. Oh, what a pitch that was. Hewlett didn't think that was a strike. He caught the outside corner. 0-2 count. There are your base runners. Hairston at second, Kittle at first, and 1 out. Moore wants Kearney to go through the signs again. Reshuffle that deck. Fouled off. I thought he fouled it. Ozzie Guillen waiting on deck, and he did foul it. Wally Joyner of California leads the league in home runs with 18, followed by Joe Canseco of Oakland and Jesse Barfield of Toronto, each of whom has 16. Canseco leads in RBIs with 57. Mattingly at the Yankees second with 52. Joyner has 47. 0-2 count. Struck him out. The third strikeout for Moore. We got some folks from Streator, Illinois here at the Kingdome tonight. And here's that last pitch. Sinking down and away from Hewlett. That's been the strikeout pitch for Moore tonight. Ozzie Guillen steps in, lined out to the center fielder. John Moses made an excellent play on the ball. Look at him going for that pitch. Ricky Henderson at the Yankees was leading the league in runs scored with 56, followed by Puckett with 50. Mattingly at Boggs each have 18 doubles. We mentioned Owen and Hewlett tied for the league lead in triples with 5. Hard shot, fair ball, fair ball. That's a base hit, and that'll get 1 run in. Hairston comes in to score. Hewlett, or rather Kittle, stops at third base, and Guillen with a double. Hard shot, just fair. Here it is again. He went down and got that low pitch, lined it just by the first baseman Alvin Davis, just fair. It caroms back toward the infield as Hairston comes in to score. Henderson runs the ball down as Hairston crosses the plate. And Ozzie Guillen with a double and his 17th run batted in. Runners second and third, 2 down for Julio Cruz. Mariners now lead 6-2. The 6th two-base hit of the year for Guillen. So Kittle at third, Guillen at second, and Cruz, the big man right now. If he can get a base hit, you're right back in the ball game. That pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Cruiser doubled to left center field in the third. Got the first hit of the game. John Cangelosi would be up next. There's Kanji. There are 2 outs. Now Cruz wants time. Fans greet Julio here with mixed reactions. He played here for a good many years. Six, parts of 2 others. Foul back. Well, new ball comes into play. The count on the Cruiser. Strike 2 call. 2-2. Fastball that time. Big pitch right here for the right-hander Moore. In the dirt, nice play by Kearney. Full count, 3-2. Julio Cruz, originally signed by the California Angels. We look now at Mike Moore. Hewlett, the lead runner at third base. Again at second, or rather Kittle, the lead runner at third. Again at second. And Cruz right now could do a lot of damage with a base hit, and Moore having a little problem getting together with his catcher, Kearney. Now we're set. Walked in. The bases are loaded. The third walk given up, and that'll bring the pitching coach Phil Regan out to the mound. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts given up by Moore. The Sox have scored 2 runs here in the 4th inning. There is no activity in the Mariner bullpen, so Regan just out there to try to settle him down a bit. Tony La Russa watching intently from the Sox dugout. So Regan has his say. And John Cangelosi will become the man of the hour, hopefully, as he steps in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Cangelosi tonight is grounded out to second and flied out to right field. He had a key hit in last night's game in the 9th inning. And back over second base, base hit. 1 run will cross the plate. 2 runs will be in, and the Sox are right back in the ball game. A clutch hit by Cangelosi. Driving home, Kittle and Guillen. Cruz stopping at second base, and cause for celebration in the Sox dugout.
Well, he just looks fastball, got it right up over the plate and drilled it right back up the middle. Not a bad pitch to look at when you have a guy like Cruz walk in front of you. You know that he's struggling a little bit. There it is again.
So a big hit by John Cangelosi. That'll get the Mariner bullpen up. Fisk becomes the 9th batter of the inning. Runners first and second. 2 outs. A 6-4 ball game now. Mariners lead. And he takes the fastball on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Sox have scored 4 runs on 4 hits in the inning. Tying runs are on base. Fouled off, strike 2. Mariners get their bullpen up. That's Lee Guterman, the left-hander who was the losing pitcher in last night's ball game. Lee Guterman. But I'm sure Williams will go as long with Moore as he possibly feels like he can. Now with the cruiser dancing off second, Moore steps off the slab, steps off again.
Now that brings Reynolds in a little bit because Cruz could get all the room he wanted to.
The outfield is spread out for Fisk. And it's a ball. 1-2. They play the center fielder Moses straight up. Bradley, the left fielder, straight up and deep, and the right fielder Henderson is deep and a bit toward the gap in right center. Infield plays into pull with Owen the shortstop back deep in the hole. Moore seems a bit uncertain of himself. 2 on, 2 gone. Now he has a sign. Almost hit him. 2-2 the count. Dick Williams, the skipper of the Mariners. Bill Regan with his arms on his knees down there next to him. That was Regan that you got the best look at. Former Sox pitcher, by the way, retired from baseball as a Sox pitcher. Foul ball. And now Kearney will go out to his pitcher. Mike Moore, big Oklahoman, 6'4", 205 pounds, born in Eakley, Oklahoma. Mike Moore, the first player picked in the free agent draft in 1981. First player in the nation. Ground ball, shortstop side, fielded by Owen. He throws Fisk out, but a productive inning for the White Sox. They score 4 runs on 4 hits, and in the middle of the 4th, it is now the Mariners 6, Chicago 4.
Well, the White Sox jump back into it 6-4, and a reminder that most baseball fans have probably dreamed of playing with stars like Minoso, Pierce, or Skowron. And your dreams can become reality at the 2nd annual White Sox Rodman and Renshaw Fantasy Camp and Investment Seminar. That will be next February 1 to 8, and you can attend a week-long baseball fantasy camp in Sarasota, Florida, plus receive up-to-date investment information from the experts at Rodman and Renshaw. So for more information, call 924-1000.
All right, Don, and here we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. John Moses will lead it off. Just looking back on Moses tonight. Grounded out to Hewlett at 3rd and singled to drive in run number 2 in the ball game for the Mariners. Now the Sox cutting into that lead with 4 runs in the top half of the inning. Now Dave Schmidt's got to hold the Mariners. Off-speed pitch away.
Yeah, their scoreboard went out here, so they're going to the big one now, Frank.
All right.
We don't have to take our shoes off and everything.
I mean, I got to put mine back on.
There you go.
Spoil sport. Walker has it. Tossed to Schmidt, and that is all for Moses. 1 out.
I tell you, people never realize, and I know we don't either at times, until a scoreboard goes out, how much you rely on that scoreboard when you're doing a ball game on the balls and strikes.
You really do. It becomes a habit. I'll sit here sometimes and I'll keep it on the fingers of my left hand. I get
Are you that good?
No, not really. It gives me something to do sometimes. Exercises my fingers.
There you go.
Bradley fouls one away, and that's strike 1. That's a little finger right there.
All right. I'm going to watch you.
All right. Alvin Davis watching from the on-deck circle, but not me. You know, for years I carried a ball and strike indicator in my briefcase. I have no idea where it is now. 1-1. It would always be there. The scoreboard would go out, and I'd forget about it. I finally just took it out. Now the first finger for that strike, thumb and first finger. See there?
Gotcha.
And the little finger for a ball. Looks like I'm ready to go bowling, doesn't it? The bat as he strikes out. I tell you, that's the 3rd time in the 2 games we've seen a Mariner hitter throw the bat all the way out to shortstop. I don't know whether it's something that they are different grip they're taking on the bat, or whether they run out of pine tar here, or what happened.
Well, they get that barrel of the bat, that big end going, and they just can't hold up, and the best thing they do is just turn it loose.
Two down, and Al Davis, the batter. Davis started the 4-run third inning with a 1-out single to center field. He's walked 4 times, 5th in the American League. I imagine a lot of those are intentional or semi-intentional. 0-1. 2 down and nobody on. Mariners lead by a score of 6-4. Schmidt relieved Davis in the third inning. Out of play. And the count is 1-1. Davis went 2 1/3 innings, 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. Bases empty, 1-1 on Davis. Ball and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, Jim Presley. Hey, while I think of it, our game is going to start a half hour earlier tomorrow night than it has the last 2 nights. So I'll be looking for us at 9 o'clock Chicago time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Guillen and Cruz are both playing in the outfield against Al Davis. They are both way, way back. 2-2 pitch. Full count. Well, you can see right there how far back Guillen and Cruz are. That white line represents what would be the start of the grass, the outfield grass in a normal field. Hard shot to Walker. He'll take it himself. And that retires the side in order at the end of 4 innings of play. The Mariners 6 and the Sox 4. Every Monday night, Sox home game in 1986 is a Sox half-price night. All box reserved and general admission tickets are half price. And our next half-price night of the year will be June 23rd against the Minnesota Twins. We go to the 5th inning, and here's Don.
All right, Frank. Harold Baines pops the first pitch left side. Coming over Presley. Might have a play, and he can't get there. The count is 0-1. Baines tonight started everything off in the 4th inning with a leadoff single, came around to score, and his first time at bat he flied to left. 1 for 2. He right there has hit in 10 of the last 12 games.
Baines involved in the controversial play in last night's ball game. Was he inside or outside the baseline? Going down to first when the pitcher threw the ball away. Baines asked me at breakfast this morning. He said, was I outside the baseline? I said, yep, you were. End of conversation.
1 ball and 1 strike.
What a break there for the Sox.
And the count goes to 2-1 with Walker on deck. He'll be followed by Hairston. The alley, left center. Bradley moving in a hurry. He can't get it. It'll go to the wall. Baines on his way to second base, and he'll make it with a double.
Well, this is such a different ball club when Baines is in one of his hitting streaks. Let's take another look at it. Pitch away from him, and he goes with the pitch very well up the gap in left center field. You'll see Bradley giving chase, just cannot catch up with it. Ball bounces high off the wall, and Harold Baines into second base with a double.
Now we'll get some action. A right-hander and a left-hander get up to throw. Guterman will be the left-hander. Walker fouls it left side, and the count is 0-1. I don't know if that's Mark Koosman this early, the right-hander or not. See his number yet. 0-1 the count. Baines at second, nobody out. Harrison on deck. As Walker gets the job done, Davis goes to the bag. He does it himself, and Baines goes to third. And here's Jerry Harrison. He has walked twice with Ron Kittle on deck.
Right-hander down there is Hoosman. Lee Gooderman and Mark Hoosman. Gooderman, the left-hander. We saw both of them last night. We saw the whole bullpen.
We saw everyone last night.
5 of them.
Now here's Harrison, who has walked twice. Baines at third. 1 out.
What Dick Williams say? He's going to have his eyes checked. He said, "I can't believe what I'm seeing."
We're talking about somebody's glasses the other day. That was prior to the game. There's a base hit over the head of Owen, and Harrison aboard. Baines will score at 6-5 Seattle. And that'll bring on Ron Kittle.
It is again. Line shot right over the leaping Owen out into left center field. So the Sox now trail by a run as Baines crosses the plate. They're basic baseball. Baines opens with a double. Walker moves him over to third base. Base hit gets him in. Inning still alive.
And Ron Kittle, the hitter. He's 1 for 2, singled and scored his last time at bat. Now Harrison at first. It's a 6-5 Seattle lead. Dick was talking about, or listening to the conversation about how somebody was getting their glasses checked. There's the breaking pitch for the strike, and 0-1 the count. He said, "I had to do the same thing." He said, I wasn't believing what I was seeing.
I think that's a great line.
And the other breaking pitch outside to count 1-1.
When Kittle drove in the first run of the ball game tonight for the Sox, it was his second RBI since May 24th. He's been in quite a slump, but hopefully he's out of it.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, and 1 run in here in the top of the 5th inning. Mariners lead at 6-5. And the count 1-2. Moore has thrown a lot of pitches. Down low, 2-2 the count. Timmy Hewlett on deck. And it's 3-2. And you can just about stick a fork in Mr. Moore. Could be his last hitter. Looks like they're going to come back with a breaking pitch. See what Harrison does. He will draw a throw. Harrison does not go, and the fly ball down the left field line in the corner. This ball is gone. Home run. Ron Kittle and the White Sox have taken a 7-6 lead.
Well, as I said, hopefully the slub is over. That is Kittle's first home run since April 30th. And that puts the Sox out in front, and Busch Beer will donate $250 to ChiSox Kids to fight cancer in children on that home run for Ron Kittle. Here it is again. That pitch stayed up there. It was a breaking pitch. It stayed up. Supposed to have been down, and Kittle puts it down in the seats in left field. That for Ron Kittle, his 7th home run, giving him 3 RBIs tonight.
And Timmy Hewlett takes his strike, and the count 0-1.
And giving the Sox a 7-6 lead, by the way.
Yes, sir. That's low. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Moore staying just strictly with the fastball and the breaking pitch, and really doesn't have an off-speed pitch like a change of any kind. Boy, if you are not pinpoint, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. And that's where he has been tonight. That's out of play, and the count 2-2.
And I'll tell you, it's taken Kittle a long time to get a start on his second 100 home runs. He hit number 100 on April 30th. That's his 101st. But what an opportune time.
Struck him out. Well, Hewlett down on strikes. Strikeout number 3, and that will bring on Ozzie Guillen. Make that 4 strikeouts.
Here it is, pitch down and in on Hewlett, moving down and in. So 3 walks and 4 strikeouts now by Mike Moore.
Guillen lines it foul down in the Mariner bullpen. 0-1 the count. Bouncer foul, first base side, and the count moves to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count. That's hit deep right field, way back. Henderson turns around, it's gone. Home run, Ozzie Guillen, and it's an 8-6 ball game.
Well, that'll be Ozzie's 2nd home run of the year, and Busch Beer donated another $250 to the ChiSox Kids to help fight cancer in children on Ozzie Guillen's home run. And we'll take another look at it. Pitch up, let her high, and there it goes. See it from another angle. Guillen gets down, starts his turn around first base, sees that ball in the seats, and gives a little victory sign there. He's happy.
Here's Julio Cruz as he takes inside. Well, the bullpen for the Mariners has been a disaster as the breaking pitch is in and over. And Dick Williams does not want to go down there unless he has to, and he's going to. Mike Moore is going to learn something out of this one way or the other. There's the first changeup that he's thrown tonight, and he threw it for a strike. Want the fastball inside. Missing low, the count 2-2. So the Sox 4 runs in the 4th and 4 so far here in the 5th. Down low, and the count 3-2. With John Cangelosi on deck. If you're Mike Moore, you got to say, I don't care if they hit the ball out of the ballpark anymore. I got to throw a strike and get out of this inning. They got to hit it at somebody, and he can't throw a strike.
Williams will will finally go to his bullpen, I feel sure.
Well, he's going to now. He's going to go to the left-hander.
And that'll be Lee Gooderman.
And I think he was just hoping that the big guy could finish the inning and go 5 also, because if the ball club could come back and score any runs in the bottom of the 5th inning and hold it, why, he had a chance to pick up a win. So he will leave. Gooderman comes on. We have a break in the action, and the White Sox lead it 8-6.
You're taking a look right now at Lee Gooderman. Lost his 2nd game of the season last night. That was his 17th timeout. He has 1 save, 35 2/3 innings pitched, 43 hits, 15 walks, 19 strikeouts. Gooderman last night worked 1/3 of an inning, charged with 2 runs, and the loss in the ball game. His biggest mistake last night was hitting Scott Bradley with a pitch, and that was a very key play in the ball game as far as the Sox win was concerned.
Well, it was John Cangelosi standing at the plate that got the base hit to drive in the tying run with 2 outs. That was his 2nd mistake. He got the fastball up over the plate to Cangelosi. Got that one down and missed. 1-0.
He pitched to Bradley and hit him with a pitch. Then he struck out Cruz, and then the base hit by Cangelosi that tied it and extended the inning. That's it.
1 ball and no strikes. Fisk on deck. The White Sox sent 8 men to the plate in the 4th. Make that 9. They've sent 8 men to the plate here in the 5th. To 6, the White Sox on top. But I'll tell you, when you're inside here, don't go away. Anything can happen. It might end up 20-6. It end up 15-14. Who knows? As they can go out of here in a hurry. There's a shot left field. That's a base hit. Cruz around second. He'll hold right there.
That'll be the Sox 10th hit of the ball game. Cangelosi's 2nd. He's going to develop quite an affinity for Lee Gooderman.
He got another high fastball up over the plate to Cangelosi, and he just jumps on those.
2nd inning in a row now, Don, that the Sox have batted around. As Fisk becomes the 9th man to bat here, as he became the 9th man to bat in the 4th inning.
Well, there you see Carlton over the last 3 games, 7 hits, 7 RBIs. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning, or check that, top of the 5th inning. And the curveball in and over. Dick Williams, you know, he's sitting over there and despises this matchup. Absolutely despises it.
What were the words he used in the media this morning? Lack of fortitude.
Yeah.
There he is down there behind Phil Regan.
There's the strike, and the count is 0-2. But he wants to see if he can slip through the fog here somewhere, because he's got Baines, Walker hitting behind Fisk. And he doesn't really want to go to Huseman. Curveball, base hit left field. Cruz around third. Bradley a good arm, and the throw is cut off. So Cruz scores. And it's a 9-6 ball game. Boy, and I'll tell you. And the Bronx cheers are out.
Take another look at it. Fisk goes down, gets that low pitch, drills it in between Presley and Owen into left field. Here comes Cruz. Throw home, cut off. Cruz dives across the plate, run number 9. 5th run scored here in the 5th inning. Pretty good number combination there. The Sox score 4 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th.
And here's Harold Baines. He led everything off again with a double. He was looking for this matchup, but hopefully he was wishing it would come in the next inning. It did not. Fisk with the base hit, RBI, 31 on the year. Jams him. Reynolds over. He goes to Owen. They get the 4th. So the side is retired. But the Sox come up with 5 more runs, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Sox lead it 9-6.
Is presented by the authority of the Chicago White Sox for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the expressed written consent of the Chicago White Sox and Fox Television Stations Incorporated is prohibited. Well, just taking a look out there at the scoreboard, the message board a moment ago, informing us that the Yankees beat Baltimore 3-1 in Baltimore with a crowd, Don, of 47,220 paid in Baltimore tonight for that game. Right now we take our ball game to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's the pitching line on Mike Moore. 4 2/3 innings, 9 runs. They're all earned. 9 base hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a pair of home runs. Homers by Kittle, number 7, and Guillen, number 2. Jim Presley, speaking of home runs, he's had 1 tonight. He'll lead off the bottom half of the 5th against Dave Schmidt.
Now it'll be Presley, Phelps, and Henderson in that order. All of a sudden, Dave Schmidt came on to try and put out a Mariner fire. Takes a couple of deep sighs, and he finds himself with a 3-run lead.
Yep, and the pitcher of record.
And delivers a strike, 0-1. Well, you know, Frank, what this can actually do to the Mariners in a sense, and it certainly is no secret, they just do not have a bullpen. And, you know, to try and compete, you still have to be realistic. And to try and compete, you've got to have something down there. And what it can possibly mean is they're going to have to go out and try and make a trade for a pitcher, a solid pitcher, to go into that bullpen, and they're going to have to give up one of their good young players.
Or give up a Phelps.
Well, that's whatever.
I think they would be more inclined to try to trade a Phelps than they would.
Then you're not going to get a stopper.
All right. Well, maybe they'll just have to go another route then.
Well, it's going to make them do some soul searching. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do some soul searching. Three balls and a strike to Jim Presley. There's a shot up the alley, right center. Cangelosi just turns his back and heads to the wall. Presley on his way to second base, and he'll make it with a double. Presley not running that gingerly. I don't know whether he's got a little ouchy leg or not.
Well, we'll take another look at it. The pitch stays up for him, and it's up the gap. Rolling all the way to the wall. Karam's back to Cangelosi. 2-base hit.
And that'll bring on Ken Phelps. On that inside corner, the count is 0-1 with Dave Henderson on deck. Phelps tonight has walked twice and scored twice. And very quickly it's 0-2. Hello, look at those two pitches. That fastball on the inside corner, and he's
Mariners have down at Calgary is 17 wins and 23 saves, and Eddie Nunez rehabbing. They're hoping to get him back. Carl Best sent down just a day or two ago. Get some work. They feel he'll be back and help.
High, the count 1-2.
Take another look at it. That pitch is right there, and no argument on Phelps' part on that one. The second strikeout for Dave Schmidt.
Here's Dave Henderson. Dave has lined to second, and he's tripled with the bases loaded to drive in 3. And get the palm ball, and the count is 0-1.
You get a chance, Don, to explain just how the palm ball reacts, how it comes up there.
Well, it kind of tumbles up there, Frank, and it's an off-speed pitch, a change. And in the case of Dave Schmidt, when he's got a good palm ball, and that is really one of his, probably his Class A pitch. It sets up the other 2 pitches. That fastball right there, you see it tails and tailing in, and then it will tumble and go down.
Throw with the same motion you do a fastball?
Well, with a fastball, you got more velocity. You have good motion. You should have good motion with the palm ball, and Dave, when he's throwing right, has good motion and good control with it. That is his number 1 pitch, and it sets up his fastball and slider as his second and third pitches. Check swing, line foul. You can see right there, there's the fastball, and that's the kind of reaction that Henderson had to it. Now that's the fastball, and all he's doing right there is just a little self-preservation. 0-2 the count with Spike Owen on deck. There's the slider. Now he's shown him the fastball. He's shown him the palm ball. He missed with a breaking pitch. Now we'll see right here what he comes back with. There it is. And there goes the bat again. You see the fingers. We can take, if we could take that back in slow motion from center field, you'll watch the fingers come up with the palm. Now Pudge giving the signs. Now watch the hand, the fingers of Schmidt right there. You can see them coming around, and there goes the bat, and that's what happens if you throw it correctly.
And you grip the ball right back here in the palm.
Right back in the palm.
And,
right. And when that hand comes around, those fingers come up and off, and Dave Schmidt has got an excellent palm ball. So Presley remains at second base. And here's Spike Owen. There's 2 outs. Takes a strike, 0-1. But about the time that then gets into the psychological part, Frank, of pitching and hitting. You get the hitter starting to look, show them enough of those palm balls, they start looking for it, then you can start slipping the fastball by him a little. And then they say, well, now he's gone back to the fastball, you come back to the palm ball. There it is. There's a little looper right to Cangelosi. And the sign is retired. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We're through 5, 9-6 White Sox. Now we're going to take another closer look at Dave Schmidt with that palm ball right here to Spyko. And you see that middle finger in there. He set the ball now. He's got the grip. Now we'll start to roll. And he'll pick the target. And then you'll see those fingers fly right there. See the fingers right over his cap. You can see the two fingers. And then even as the ball came out, you see the reaction of the ball, the tumbling effect, the hitter out in front. And that's it. Now we're back to live action. And Greg Walker has a one hopper to Reynolds, one away.
I think that was a great replay right there, Don, as Jimmy Angio was able to slow that down. And you were talking about the fingers going up. You could see the fingers up in the air as Schmidt released the ball. Well, I think we have very well explained the palm ball.
Well, that's one now.
Well, now let's don't do too many clinics tonight. Let's save something now for tomorrow night.
Here's Jerry Hairston. He will turn around and hit from the right side as he takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Jerry's walked twice, singled, scored twice, and driven in a run. As you look at Ron Kittle on deck. Good change, off-speed pitch, and Hairston out in front. 0-2. Gooderman not an overpowering type pitcher. He'll put a little on, take a little off, and his good pitch, out pitch many times, is the overhand curveball. See what they want to come with here. Down low, that was not the big overhand curveball. He's got one that goes down. There it was, and Harrison went around. Well, Jerry down on strikes, 2 outs. Now let's take a look at that, Frank. You got this one.
I don't do as good a clinic as you do on him. To me, that is just a breaking ball in the dirt.
Jerry could not hold up.
No, he tried to and could not.
Now here's Ron Kittle. He is 2 for 3 tonight, a single, a home run, his 7th home run of the year, 3 RBIs to give him 27. 1 ball and no strike. 9-6, the White Sox on top, scoring 4 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. 9 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Sox, 6-7-0 for the Mariners. I don't know if those were some of the Mariner executives sitting behind home plate back in that private little area or not. 3-0 the count to Kittle. One on the far right looked like Chuck Armstrong. Green lighted 3-0, went through the fastball. Well, he wasn't quite geared up for that. On deck, Timmy Hewlett. Fouled away, and the count full at 3-2. High, and he walks him.
First walk given up by Gooderman. Well, on Saturday, June 21st, when the White Sox take on the Seattle Mariners, the first 15,000 kids 14 and under who attend the game will receive a free mug. It'll feature the White Sox mascots, Ribby and Rhubarb, and compliments of Kool-Aid. Plus, all kids with a ticket who bring 5 Kool-Aid envelopes or 1 canister rubber to gate 9 at 10:30 a.m. will be admitted to a special clinic conducted by White Sox players and coaches.
Tim Hewlett takes his strike.
You may not get a clinic on the palm ball, but it's going to be a very worthwhile clinic.
Hewlett has struck out twice and hit into a fielder's choice, 0 for 3. There's a bouncer up the middle. Spike Owen will go right to the bag, and that'll be out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left to the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-6 White Sox.
Play the New York Yankees. J.C. Penney will celebrate with a fireworks sky concert and laser light spectacular immediately following the game. The White Sox 4th of July Sky Concert is always a hit, and this show promises to be the biggest Sox Sky concert ever, courtesy of J.C. Penney. For tickets, call 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office and pick them up right there in person. That's on Friday, the 4th of July. And what could be more appropriate than the New York Yankees in town for the 4th of July? George Steinbrenner will be there to celebrate his birthday. He'll be 50 years old, and he'll be years old. Well, see, I know. Okay. I think I know. I don't really care, but I think I know. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're both 39. Anything else, Jimmy? Oh, okay. You know, it's nice to talk to Jimmy Angio once in a while. It's awfully hard to get Jimmy in a good mood anymore, but he's in a good mood now.
Well, he gets a little upset and angry and down in those trucks all the time when, you know, we're up here watching the game.
I was just thinking about that. All right, Bob Kearney will lead it off as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Sox lead at 9-6.
Kearney is 1 for 1 tonight. He's walked and he has singled. It'll be Kearney, Reynolds, and Moses in that order to face Dave Schmidt. 9-6, Sox on top. One ball and one strike. There's Reynolds on deck. 2 more games with the Mariners. Tomorrow night, don't forget, as Frank mentioned before, a 7 o'clock start, so that'll be 9 o'clock back in Chicagoland. Inside, 2-1.
And then Sunday at 3:30.
That's right. 1:30 Pacific Coast time, 3:30 Central time.
You know, I'm getting used to the times. You know, I can transpose the times now.
Low and away in the count, 3-1.
In 4 minutes, it's going to be tomorrow in Chicago.
Finally got you west of the Hudson, and you realize there is something else.
Yes, there is. There is life west of the Hudson, and a good life, I'm going to tell you that.
High pop. Ozzie Guillen. He says he'll take it. 1 away.
In fact, I'd be lying to you if I told you that anything except that life west of the Hudson is a lot better than life east of the Hudson.
Here is Reynolds. He is 0 for 3. He's bounced to first, flying to center, and line to Timmy Hewlett at third, who comes up inside the bag. Takes high, 1-0. So far, they've thrown a blanket over Reynolds, 0 for 7 in the series, with Moses on deck. That's fouled away left side over the Sox bullpen. Art Kushner makes a fan happy. One ball and one strike. And the count 2-1. Two and two the count. Reynolds takes that fastball at the knees. And with a 2-strike count, Timmy Hewlett will back up at third, about a step behind the bag. That's hit to left field. Harrison giving ground, has a play, and makes the catch. 2 outs. And that'll bring on John Moses. Moses tonight 1 for 3. Has bounced to third, singled in the second, and bounced to first in the fourth. Fisk and Schmidt, a very quick chat. Moses, you can see, just a shade bigger than John Cangelosi, standing there alongside Pudge. Three. See if they're using that. There's the palm ball, and there it is. In and over. Sit at home, you can kind of get to thinking along. Without the sequence signs, you can kind of get to thinking of Fisk and Schmidt as you watch the signs. And they want the palm ball again. And he throws it a little high. The count 1-1. There's Phil Bradley on deck. See the fastball. And that's hit up the gap. Nobody is there, and that is going to roll around for a whole length of time. Moses, great speed. He's flying around the bases. Guillen bobbles a ball, and they hold him at third. That little man's can shoot.
I'll tell you, he can run. The farther he went, the faster he went. And of course, Virgil doesn't know that Guillen's got to bobble the throw. Here it is. Up the gap, nobody anywhere near that area. Ball all the way to the wall. Kicks off. Now Cangelosi's on it in a hurry. Into Guillen, and by the time the ball gets to Guillen, Moses is into third base and has been flagged down by Ozzie Virgil.
Here's Phil Bradley. Well, last night we talked about some of the exaggerated overshifts. And when you have a guy out there like a Dave Schmidt, that's the only time that you can really get stung with those overshifts. You got a man that has an off-speed pitch, or somebody is working on an off-speed pitch and throws off-speed pitches without your outfielders knowing what's coming. 1 ball and no strikes to Bradley. There's another good palm ball. And Gene Nelson starts throwing down in the Sox bullpen. On deck, Alvin Davis. Moses at third, a 2-out triple, and Schmidt trying to leave him right there. Up the middle, Cruz over, the high throw, not in time. Boy, Bradley got down the line in a hurry. Moses scores. It's 9-7.
Well, we'll take another look at it. Ball hit off the end of the bat. Back up the middle, and Cruz to his right, both feet off the ground. But he throws it on to Walker. Good throw, but just not in time as Bradley beats it out for a base hit and a run batted in from center field. It's always amazing to me how an infielder gets as much on a throw as he does with both feet off the ground. And now Hewlett goes to the mound to buy a little time to get Nelson a little more work out in the bullpen. And La Russa is on his way out. Nelson may have had enough work. La Russa is on his way out. That is the first run that is scored against Dave Schmidt.
Well, you've heard that old cliche about, in the baseball vernacular, how a hitter smells a base hit. And there was a classic example right there with Bradley. He knew Cruz had to go hard to his right just to get to the ball. And then Julio, with good agility, got the ball back over to Greg Walker. But Bradley going hard down the line beat the throw. So that'll be all for Dave Schmidt. He will give way to Gene Nelson. We have a break in the action with 2 outs, 1 on in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the White Sox on top 9-7.
Gene Nelson comes on to pitch for Chicago here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. He'll be making his 24th appearance. 4 wins, 2 losses, an earned run average of 2.31. 1 save, 50 2/3 innings pitched, 40 hits, 19 walks, 31 strikeouts. Nelson last pitched Tuesday against the California Angels. He went 1 2/3 innings in that ball game. In fact, he pitched both Monday and Tuesday against California, 3 innings total, allowing 1 run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and looked good in both outings. He did not figure in a decision there. His last decision was a loss in Toronto on May 31st. So he'll work to Davis to try to get the final out here of this inning done.
All right, Frank, Alvin Davis tonight has lined to center, lined hard to Cangelosi, singled and scored in the 3rd, and he bounced to first. That was in the 4th. Curveball down low, and the count 1-0. All of a sudden, the Mariners have brought the tying run to the plate. And this ball yard as the next one that the Sox will visit, the Metrodome. Boy, I'll tell you, anything can happen. There's the breaking pitch in and over, and the count 1-1. Fisk trying to stay away from that fastball to Davis if he can. And of course, Gene Nelson with that good fastball, and he wants to just try and get the mind moving in an opposite direction to Alvin Davis. Jim Presley on deck. Bradley, good speed at first, as we witnessed on that infield base hit. Julio Cruz, he's 20 feet out in shallow right. Davis without the speed, and that's where you can take advantage of that. You can see how far Cruz is out. You can play deeper and have a little more range and still maybe have a play. He wasn't ready for that fastball. 1-2. Look out. Look out. John Hirschbeck threw that ball back to Gene Nelson. He had his head down, didn't even see it go by him. That reminds me, we're playing in Philadelphia one night, and Newcomb was pitching, and Pudd'nhead Jones hit a ball down the left field line that the home plate umpire was Vic Delmore, God rest his soul, and the third base umpire was Augie Donatelli. Augie called it a foul ball, and Vic Delmore overruled him and called it a fair ball. And then, after with all the argument, Newcomb was standing on the mound. He dropped his head. There's a bouncer. Nelson over, rounds it off nicely, and goes to Walker, and we'll finish that story when we come back. So the Mariners are gone. They pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. And we go to the 7th inning of play, 9-7 White Sox. Now that's the story as we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Frank, just finishing that story, as Newcomb was standing on the mound, he had given up arguing through the whole thing, very disgusted, dejected, standing on the mound, had his head down. Vic Delmore, the home plate umpire, threw the ball out. Someone yelled at Newcomb to look out. He looked up, and the ball hit him right in the nose.
Oh, no.
Oh, you think now he wasn't hot. Here's Ozzie Guillen as Frank will take over.
Bounces one up the middle. 3rd base hit for Guillen. So Ozzie hot tonight. A single, double, and a home run. Other time up tough out. A line drive to center field, and Moses ran down. Right in the nose.
Hit him right in the nose, and he went down, and not many guys on the bench saw it. Some of us, you know, with our sense of humor, we were laughing. And he was down on one knee, had his hand cradled, leaning on his knee, and Chico Fernandez said, "Look at Newcomb. I'd never seen him do that," in his Cuban dialect. He said he's crying.
Cruz showing butt as Guillen goes. Safe, stolen base.
So anyway, then when they finally found out what had happened, oh boy, I'll tell you, it was Newcomb mad. There you go. Look at it again. That big high leg kick, slow curve, good pitch to go on. And a quick slap tag by Owen, but not in time. The Ozzie just about came off of that bag. Let's watch it again from this angle. Let his foot's on it.
So for again his 4th stolen base. He's been thrown out only once. And a 1-strike count on Julio Cruz. Cruiser has doubled once, walked twice, and scored a run. Bouncer off the glove of the pitcher, grabbed by the second baseman Reynolds, throws him out. Ginn moves to third base on the play.
Well, here's a date to jot down. On Friday, June 20th, it'll be the White Sox and the Mariners. The first 15,000 fans 15 and over who attend the game, they'll receive a free White Sox beach towel, compliments of the Illinois State Lottery. For tickets, call 559-1212, use your charge card, or stop by the ballpark.
John Cangelosi, who's had 2 hits tonight and a pair of runs batted in, has a chance to drive in a run here. Infield is in. 1 out.
You got to be alive.
Yes, sir. Oh, they call a pitch out. Ginn bluffed coming down the line. Kearney called a pitch out, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Domingo Ramos is now playing third base. Presley out of the ball game. Don mentioned to you, he did not like the way Presley was running when he had that double a couple of innings ago, and he's come out with Ramos in at third base. He went around. That's a ball and a strike count. Lee Gooderman in relief of Mike Moore. Gooderman came on in the 5th inning. The Sox are leading 9-7 in the 7th inning. That's a big runner down there at third base for Chicago.
Out with the 1-strike count now, you might see Tony La Russa change his mind.
Blowing in with a breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Cangelosi casting a long look at Nossick. And Ginn verbally checking with Nossick at third. Two balls and a strike on Cangelosi. 1 out. Ball 3. 3-1. Yeah, there's Mark Huseman, the right-hander, and Young, the left-hander, in the Mariner pen. Ball got loose out of the bullpen. Nobody realized it. Now time is called. First base umpire Rocky Rowe saw the ball come rolling by him. Said, where'd that come from?
Bullpen.
So the ball got loose from the left-hander Young out there. Nobody saw it as it rolled down toward the field. Could be a very dangerous situation. 3-1 count. He walks. Cangelosi will trot down to first base, and the Sox have runners on the corners for Carlton Fisk. And that'll bring out Dick Williams. I don't think he wants the left-hander Gooderman to pitch to Fisk. He'll have Huseman come on from the pen. He wants Mark Huseman. You see right there, he's given the sign. So Huseman, who also pitched in last night's ball game, will come on to work to Fisk. So we will not have the matchup that we had back in the 5th inning when you mentioned, Don, that there was a matchup that Williams did not want, but he sort of forced himself to accept, and it did not work out too well as Fisk had the base hit.
Well, while we have a second as Gooderman leaves, we will go through the scoreboard for you. And you see Boston defeated Milwaukee 5-3. The Royals are shutting out California behind Brett Saberhagen 8-0 in the 5th inning. 10-5 final, Detroit over Toronto. And a big win, Cleveland 11-2 over Minnesota and Bert Blyleven. And the Yankees defeated Baltimore 3-1. 1-1 tie in the 8th inning, Texas at Oakland. And the National League, 2 games, a doubleheader in Chicago. They split. The Cardinals winning the first game 1-0, and the Cubs winning the second game 3-2. Mets 6-5 over Pittsburgh. It was Philadelphia 2-1 over Montreal. Atlanta 3-2 over Cincinnati. San Francisco defeated Houston 3-1. Boy, the Giants are playing good ball. And the Dodgers 6-2 over San Diego. And once again, if you might have missed it, back in Chicagoland, the new skipper of the Chicago Cubs, Gene Michael, coming over from the New York Yankees, will take over the helm of the Chicago Cubs, and we certainly wish Gene all the luck. Here's Mark Huseman as he comes on. You see right there, Mark has been in 10 ball games. He has the record of 1-1 with the Mariners, 1-2 overall, and a 3.57 ERA. That is with Seattle. So he'll come on and pitch to Fisk as the left-hander Matt Young continues to throw in the Seattle bullpen with Baines and Walker to follow.
Huseman came on to start the 8th inning last night after Jim Beattie pitched a brilliant 7 innings for the Mariners. He gave up a base hit to Tolleson, retired Cruz on a hardline drive. He walked Cangelowski, and Fisk doubled off of him to drive in a pair of runs. So he's on to face Fisk here. You know, he talked about the Giants playing good baseball. They're down in Houston, right?
Right.
Now the Astros leading their division, the Giants in second place, and Al Rosen very much in the middle of both ball clubs, leaving after building up that Houston ball club to the point it is now. Leaving there, going to the Giants, and I believe the Giants went into that series just 2 games behind Houston. So pretty good mark on Al Rosen's record right there.
Well, Al coming over and inheriting what they had, and they made a little deal or two. Of course, the biggest thing I think is Roger Craig has done a fine job over there at San Francisco. They've gone with a lot of youth over there. They've got some players that can play a little bit, and they are playing right now, as are the Astros.
Well, play over to first base. Fisk 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI, and again they go after Cangelowski. The Sox are leading 9-7. They got the scoreboard back in operation here. And everything seems to be working here now. Cangelowski bluffs going, and pitch low and outside. Kearney may have been crossed up that time, and he goes right out to the mound to talk to Huseman. Huseman was charged with 3 runs in last night's ball game. 2 of them earned, 1 unearned.
Mark was really not happy at Kansas City. Made some remarks this spring, and all of a sudden the Royals said, well, if that's the way you feel, you can go to Seattle.
Is he happy here?
Well, I really haven't talked to him. I really don't know.
I don't know either.
He's pitching.
Bluff to third. Cangelowski back in at first base. I'm going to see that play work yet. I hope I stay around long enough. Cangelowski gets back. Reynolds and Owen, the second baseman and shortstop, clog up the middle. Outfield spread out for Fisk. Center fielder Moses straight up in center, and the pitch. Fisk with a count of 2-0. 1 out. We're in the top of the 7th. Harold Baines waiting on deck. At one time in this ball game, the Mariners led 6-0. Sox scored 4 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. Popped him up.
Kearney didn't see it.
Nope, he sure didn't.
much help he got from anybody. Well, I tell you, that is the pitcher's responsibility right there, or anybody coming down the line. He's looking up and he doesn't see it. Huseman, you see, he doesn't see it. I don't see it. And now at the very end, too late. That's when you want to open a door and keep right on going.
You know, it's really amazing to me that more balls are not lost against this dome ceiling, gray dome. 2-1 count on Carlton, and after Cangelosi again. Again at third, 1 out. 2 balls and a strike. And the Sox with a 9-7 lead. Well hit right field. Henderson back near the wall will make the catch. Guillen will tag and score. Throw to first. Cangelosi gets back. And the Sox now lead it by a score of 10-7. Fisk with his second RBI tonight.
Eddie Brinkman, slapping a little color in his face down there and saying something to Cangelosi. Cangelosi thinks that ball is going to be against the wall. And maybe forgetting about the arm of Henderson as he gets it back to first, because if he gets it and they double up Cangelosi, the run does not score. And Brinkman having a little chat now with John Cangelosi as Dick Williams is going to go to the mound, and he will not have Huseman pitch to Baines. So the sacrifice fly by Fisk, 2 more RBIs tonight, gives him 32. With Guillen scoring on the play. So the stolen base by Guillen, a very big play right now. The Sox have manufactured this run as Huseman leaves and Matt Young comes on. As Young makes his appearance, it will be his 25th appearance of the year. And you see a record of 4-4 and a 4.93 ERA. He has 2 saves. He has worked in 45 and 2/3 innings, allowed 55 hits, 31 runs, 25 of those earned. He has given up 7 home runs. He has walked 28 while striking out 27. And as I mentioned last night, this is be interesting to watch Young throw tonight. But last night when we saw Young come on, he did not have the stuff that we've seen him in the past. And that Detroit 10-5 win over Toronto, King the winner 2-0, Clancy the loser 6-4. Pat Sheridan hit his 5th home run of the year for the Tigers. Evans hit his 10th, and Parrish hit his 14th. Boy, I'll tell you, Johnson hit his 8th, 36,471 at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. Lance Parrish, that slow start that he got off to, Frank, he has all of a sudden, looking up there, 14 home runs. He has come around a little bit.
He really has. Sheridan, a home run tonight, 5 for him. Evans hit his 10th. Sheridan, a good pickup for the Detroit Tigers after really being released by Kansas City. And you know that kid King, I can't think of his first name, but the first time we saw Detroit this year, Sparky Anderson was so high on that youngster. He wanted it. He said, I'm going to tell you something. And you know, the way Sparky can speak as if it is etched in stone. He said he is going to win in the major leagues. That's the kid that got some notoriety back in the spring. He warmed up for an exhibition game, and the last 2 warm-up pitches he threw were high and inside.
Huh.
To a right-hand hitter. All right, Baines up with 2 outs, and Cangelosi dancing off first. It was on Baines that Young made that errant throw last night. Breaking ball for a strike. Baines nut one, if you were not with us. Nut one out toward the mound, off the first base side of the mound. Young fielded the ball, threw wild to first base for an error. It was a big play in the ball game, and the Mariners argued. There goes Cangelosi. He got picked off and threw it away. Ball rolls down toward the bullpen. Cangelosi's going to run a long way. They're going to try to score him. And the plate of the plate, he's going to be out of there. Cangelosi thrown out at the plate as the throw came via the first baseman Davis from the right fielder Henderson, I believe. And that is all for the Sox. They do get a run, and in the middle of the 7th inning, it is now Sox 10, Mariners 7.
Give me a light. Ooh, Bud Light. Great game.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Pitcher of light. Bud Light.
So if you want the lips-filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
I just made a smart choice. I heard Ford was holding the line on their car prices, so I went down to my local Ford dealer and checked it out. Know what? I heard right. See this Escort? No price increase, and I saved hundreds of dollars with a special option package. Got a 3-year warranty with unlimited mileage, terrific financing. Hey, no wonder it's such a popular car. You know the best part? I got straight talk from a dealer who actually appreciated my business. Ford Escort was the one for me. When you find quality people with a quality product like that, you're talking value.
Farming. It's your living. It's your life. On July 1st, KLJB-TV will begin airing a local farm report weeknights at 9:55 p.m. This isn't just a market review. This is your local farm report, and we want your ideas. Mail your suggestions to KLJB-TV, 937 East 53rd Street, Davenport, Iowa, 52807.
Domingo Ramos will lead off as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. He's batting for the first time since replacing Presley at third base. Ramos seeing very, very limited action. He's been to bat 45 times. He has 8 base hits. And sends a fly ball straight away center field deep. Cangelosi way back, and he makes the catch.
Well, we'll look at that pickoff here of Cangelosi. He's going all the way. Now the throw is by Davis. There's the air. So you can put that in the book while Cangelosi is running the bases. They bring him right on around, and that arm of Henderson, I told you about it before, right there to Kearney as the tag is applied and Cangelosi is out.
Ken Phelps will stand in with one away. Left center field, that's going to be a base hit. And it gets by Hairston to the wall. Phelps into second base. 2-base hit. That is the first hit of Gene Nelson.
Well, this is just a fastball out over the plate. They want it in. It tails back out, and he just goes the other way with it, and he hits it hard by Jerry. And stops at second with a double.
10 base hits now for the Mariners. The Sox lead 10-7. Sox have 12 hits. Henderson is lined out. He has tripled. He has struck out. He has driven in 3 runs, and he has scored a run. His triple came with the bases loaded and gave the Mariners then a 5-0 lead over the Sox. When Henderson scored back in the 3rd inning, it was 6-0. Ball and a strike. Spike Owen will be up next. Two and one. Ball game now at the 3-hour mark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nelson, the third Sox pitcher. Joel Davis started, worked 2 1/3 innings. Charged with 6 runs. Struck him out. First strikeout for Nelson. Davis worked 2 1/3, 6 runs on 5 hits, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. And we'll look at that last pitch. He just blew it by him, right to the mitt. Dave Schmidt, the pitcher of record for the Sox, pitched 3 1/3 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And Nelson relieved in the 6th inning. Spike Owen, 1 for 3. You never know when one play is going to be big in a ball game. Owen being waved home from second base on a base hit by John Moses in the 2nd inning was thrown out at the plate. Cangelosi to Fisk for the final out in that inning. That was a big play. A ball and a strike. So far, we've had 17 runs scored on 22 hits. There have been 3 hours in the ball game. 2 by the Sox, 1 by the Mariners. Two balls and a strike to Owen. Game 3 of the series tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Tom Seaver will pitch against Mark Langston. That's a strike. 2-2. Fans disagree with the plate umpire, John Hirschbeck. Little looper out into right field, and it's going to drop in for the base hit and score a run. Phelps comes across on a base hit by Spike Owen. Owen collects his 13th run batted in of the year. They'll call Kearney back.
Now that's the change right there. And he just reaches out, puts the head of the bat on it, and drops it in front of Baines.
Now Gorman Thomas will come out and bat for Kearney. And Dave Duncan will go out to talk to Nelson. I don't know why Kearney even bothered walking up toward the plate. He could see Yeager down there in the right field corner warming up. So, a little meeting out at the mound being held by pitching coach Dave Duncan, and there is Gorman Thomas. At one time, one of the most feared hitters in the league. He can still hit the ball out. He's batting but .192. However, he has 9 home runs. 23 runs batted in. He's driven in 23 runs with 30 base hits. He's also scored 22 runs. He's also struck out 52 times. So Gorman Thomas will bat here for Bob Kearney. He is the tying run. Gorman is. Sox lead 10-8. They shift around to the left side for him, the infield and the outfield. Ball 1. There you can see the defense. You can see Guillen playing back in the outfield at shortstop. Cruz is back in what would be the outfield grass, well around, almost behind second base. Ball and a strike. For a breaking ball. Thomas, another one of the veterans who may see his career winding down here in Seattle anyway. There's a base hit. Or is it? No! Cangelosi comes on to grab it. That'll retire the side. Well hit ball. Good play by Cangelosi. A run on a pair of hits and a man left on. And we have completed 7 with a score. The Sox 10 and the Mariners 8. We're ready to go to the 8th inning. Here's Don Drysdale.
All right, Frank Harold Baines was at bat when Cangelosi was picked off and then thrown out trying to score. Baines takes a strike. Greg Walker on deck. He'll be followed by Jerry Hairston. Outside, the count 1-1. And that Met 6-5 win over Pittsburgh. Orozco 3-2 over Clements 0-2. Sid Bream hit his 9th. Wilson his 3rd. Hernandez his 4th. Ground ball right to Domingo Ramos. On to Davis, one away. And that'll bring on Greg Walker. Shane Raleigh picked up his 9th win of the year against 4 losses. Burke took the loss 4-2 in Philadelphia's 2-1 win over Montreal. Steve Yeager is the new catcher for Seattle. One ball and no strikes to Walker with Jerry Hairston on deck. There's a strike over that outside corner. Two and 1 the count. Greg just about walked into that fastball.
Sure did. Woo. He was leaning. That when he moved back, the ball was already by him.
And get the breaking pitch in the count 2-2. First strikeout for Young.
Well, the last pitch to Greg Walker. Way down low out of the strike zone, but he went for it. First strikeout for Young.
And that will bring on Jerry Hairston, who tonight is 1 for 2. Has walked twice, scored twice. Ground ball. Ramos. Good play. Throws to get him. That is the first 1-2-3 inning for the Mariners since inning number 1. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-8. White Sox.
Sunday, June 22nd, when the White Sox take on the Seattle Mariners, the famous chicken returns to Comiskey Park. The chicken is back, compliments of Brown's Chicken, and this year the first 15,000 kids 14 and under who attend the game will receive a free jumbo trading card of the chicken, courtesy of Brown's Chicken. For tickets, call 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office.
Here's Harold Reynolds. There's a line shot over the glove of Hill. It can't find it. Too late.
It is on the replay. Well hit ball. Hewlett knocks it down with the glove, then for this instant does not know where it is. By the time he finds it, no chance of a play, and Reynolds is on. And Bobby Bonilla has come on to play left field for the Sox. Hairston is out of the game.
Here's John Moses. 2 for 4 tonight, a single and a triple as they keep Reynolds close. Mentioned before, he's had 15 stolen bases. Timmy Hewlett almost made a super play on that ball. Matter of fact, it hit so hard in his glove, that's why he thought he had it. But just spinning around, going the opposite way, it just popped out. And then with the speed of Reynolds, no chance.
The third hit off Nelson, and hit number 12. There's Bonilla, now playing left. 12 hits for the Mariners.
And there's that off-speed pitch to Moses, 0-2. Check that, 1-0. He did that the time before, and Triple left the gap in right center as you look at McCune throwing. One ball and no strikes with Phil Bradley on deck. And the count 2-0.
Sports Vision is your home for Sox 86 Weekly, Quest for the West, the official highlight show of the White Sox, only on Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable. Call your local cable company for details.
Two balls and no strikes. That's low, and it's 3-0. Timmy Hewlett just inside the bag at third, guarding the line. The outfield is back just a shade from where they would play Moses normally in the early innings, but Cangelosi is still in left center. Takes a strike in the count, 3-1. Tony La Russa. Well, La Russa out. Boy, he's stalking out to the mound. You've got Phil Bradley, the hitter. He went out there like he is on point. Now we're going to see how Dick Williams wants to play it. You've got the left-hand hitting Alvin Davis to follow. You've got the left-hander Joel McCune in the bullpen. John Hirschbeck standing alongside listening to the conversation. And they'll stay with Nelson to go to the right-hander Bradley. Ozzie Virgil down talking to Bradley. So the tying runs are aboard. And speed galore with Reynolds at second, Moses at first, and speed at the plate in Bradley. Walker up. He's looking for the bunt. Hewlett up inside the bag at third. The bunt down low, and a bluff throw back to second. Guillen over by the bag. Here's a case where Ozzie goes to the bag. Hewlett holds his ground. That whole left side of the infield is bare. As Hewlett gets a sign from La Russa on what defensive play they want to put on. Walker in now, back a step. Hewlett backing up a little bit. Inside the bag down the right field line. That's going to score. bases. Bradley flying around second, going to third. We're tied at 10.
Well, here it is. The ball will be hit between Walker, drawn in, and the line at first base all the way down to the corner. Reynolds in to score as Baines runs the ball down. Gets the ball in, and Moses in to score, and Bradley, who really turned it on at third base with a triple. Well, Nelson is out of the ball game, and McCune will be brought in. Bill Bradley now with 2 base hits and 3 runs batted in tonight. And it's a tie ball game. There have been 20 runs scored tonight on 25 base hits. And add in 3 errors if you would like.
Well, I'll guarantee you both managers would like to just kind of set foot in a little sailboat and float around in Lake Washington with no one to bother either one. The way this thing is going.
Well, McCune will be pitching to Alvin Davis. Have a distress situation here. Heard many definitions of distress. Let's see what Mr. McCune has done. A save. He's not given up many hits. He has walked a few people in his 14 2/3 innings. Struck out a few. In his rookie year in the major leagues, he has pitched very well. Friday the 13th. What were you saying about that earlier? The Mariners are 1-8 on Friday the 13th. Is this still Friday the 13th? Seems like in Seattle it's Friday the 13th. In Chicago, it's Saturday the 14th or Sunday the 15th. I'm not sure which. I got the hours straightened out, but now I'm losing track of the days. McCune pitched on the 11th against California. Worked 1 2/3 innings. Pitched very well in the ball game. The Sox lost that one 12-11. But he'll work to Alvin Davis, and McCune has his work cut out for him. The go-ahead run is at third base with nobody out, Don.
Now, Davis tonight is 1 for 4. The infield is in as Bill Dolly gets up to start to throw down in the Sox bullpen. That's low. The count 1-0. Davis lined hard to Cangelosi. He singled and scored. He's bounced to first and bounced to the pitcher. Inside. Good play by Fisk. Boy, I'll tell you, Bradley took that pitch and hit it off of his kneecap down that first base line. There's Bill Dolly.
Come on now.
2 balls and no strikes. There's the strike and the count 2-1. That'd be the first time that Davis has seen Joel McCune, so he's had a chance to look at a pitch or two. There's Domingo Ramos on deck. Up high, 3-1. Right there, he just sets that forkball grip. He just set a split finger fastball grip. And we'll see what he changes it to here, if he does at all. And walks him. bring on Domingo Ramos with runners at the corners. You've got Bradley at third. And here comes Tony La Russa again. And he's going to the bullpen. He wants Bill Dolly.
Now, Dolly didn't have a whole lot of time to warm up down there, but obviously he is ready to come in, or Tony would not have waved him into the game. So Dolly will become the 5th Chicago pitcher of the night. McCune faces one man and walks him. Well, let's see. The Sox have used 5 pitchers. Mariners have not used their 5th pitcher yet. So a 10-10 ball game. Runners will be at first and third as Dolly comes on. No wins and 3 losses for the big right-hander. He has not registered a save. For Dolly, this will be appearance number 20, all in relief. There you see his record. No wins, 3 losses. Earned run average of 2.60. 34 2/3 innings, 31 hits, 9 walks, and 20 strikeouts for Dolly. Sox got by with 2 pitchers last night, Cowley and James, but tonight the phone has been ringing loud and often in the Sox bullpen. Dolly pitched in that Wednesday afternoon game against the California Angels. 2 innings, charged with 2 runs, 2 hits, struck out a batter. Came in the ball game in the 8th inning, gave up an RBI single, and then retired the last 5 men that he faced. So he'll be ready to pitch to Domingo Ramos, who flied to center field his only at bat. Ramos taking over at third base for Presley, who went 2 for 3, home run and a double. Appeared a bit lame running out his double, and Ramos came into play for him, and he'll bat here in the 8th inning now.
And runners at the corner, still nobody out. The infield remains in. And the breaking pitch down and away, 1-0. The Ozzie Virgil saying, get the ball up and take a shot to the right side. You got a big hole on that right side. Outside, the count 2-0. And Ken Phelps on deck. The bullpens are bare. Nobody throwing. Either side. A 10-10 tie. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 the count. Ramos trying to make it 13 with that swing. First time at bat, he fly deep to Cangelosi in right center. They play him to hit to the opposite field. That's high, and it's 3-1. Davis at first with Bradley at third. Out of play, and a full count, 3-2. See what they want to do right here. Curveball, foul back. Slider. Count remains 3-2. 10 runs on 13 hits and 1 error for Seattle. 10 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors for the White Sox. What did that do? Foul tip.
Yeah, hit his bat handle.
Now John Hirschbeck will take a peek at it. Bradley at third. Alvin Davis at first. Cruz kind of moving around. He's back kind kind of halfway right now. High pop. Went after a bad pitch. He throws the bat away, and Timmy Hewlett makes a catch. Now there's one out, and that'll bring on Ken Phelps.
It'll be interesting to see now how the Sox play the infield with one out. Runners at first and third. Again, it just looked in toward the dugout. Cruz is setting up back. And Fisk wants to go up the mound. Oh, he started out there.
Well, everybody trying to get themselves on the right track here. They're going to walk Phelps. They'll walk the bases loaded right here. They'll walk the bases loaded to pitch to Henderson.
Well, that last pitch there was almost thrown away by Dawley. There's Henderson. Walked the left-hander, pitched the right-hander. Henderson came into the ball game as a .253 hitter. He's driven in 3 runs tonight. This will be the 3rd time Phelps has walked tonight. Officially 1 for 2. Struck out and doubled.
Now here's Dave Henderson with the bases loaded. And you assume the infield now has to play for the double play. Henderson, pretty good speed. Now you've got Bradley at third, Davis at second, and Phelps at first. And here's Henderson.
And he got a pitch down.
Hard hit. Cruz has it. Goes again for 1. They double him up. So the inning is over, but 2-run score, and we're through 8, tied at 10.
The next game on Channel 32 on the White Sox Network comes your way tomorrow night at 9 o'clock when the Sox take on the Seattle Mariners. Tom Seaver is scheduled to pitch that ball game for Chicago.
Ron Kittle takes inside 1-0. Kittle 2 for 3 tonight, a single, a home run, 2 runs scored, 3 runs driven in. There's a strike over that outside corner. Pete Ladd throwing in the bullpen for the Mariners. Curveball low, the count 2-1. Now the Sox, they dodged a bullet in the bottom of the 8th inning. Outside, the count 3-1 as the Mariners tied it with nobody out and Bradley at third, and they got out of it. There's Ladd in the bullpen. Out of play, the count full 3-2. Out of play. Now the count remains 3-2. Scott Bradley has been called in from the bullpen. He's got a bat down in the Sox dugout. Right side. Alvin Davis. Foul territory. 1 out. And that'll bring on Timmy Hewlett. If you're looking to the Mariner 9th inning, they have Spike Owen, Steve Yeager, and Harold Reynolds. It's a strike over the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Breaking pitch just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Ozzie Guillen on deck. Bounce foul, first base side, and the count moves on to 1-2. $10,242 in attendance tonight. Oh, and they've seen something. Got him on the breaking pitch.
Now take a look at that breaking pitch from Matt Young. Hewlett well over the top of it. Yeah, the fans here have seen the Mariners lead 6-0. The Sox come back and lead 9-6. And now tied 10-10.
Here's Ozzie Guillen. Curveball for the strike, and the count is 0-1.
They've also seen a rarity. Ozzie Guillen hit a home run. His 3rd in his major league career and 2nd this year.
Well, I'll tell you, that's hit foul. If John Moses doesn't make a great catch on Ozzie Guillen in the 3rd inning on that line drive that he hit over his head that started to take off, Ozzie Guillen would have hit for the cycle tonight.
That's right.
That for sure would have been a triple.
Yeah.
Struck him out. Side retired, and we go to the bottom of the 9th, tied at
10. It's all-star balloting time again. Anytime from now until July 6th, you're out at Comiskey Park. You can vote for your favorite player or players for the 1986 All-Star teams. So don't forget to vote when you're out there. You have a chance to win some free tickets to White Sox games when you cast your ballot.
Here's Spike Owen. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Steve Yeager on deck. Hewlett guarding the line at 3rd. Walker off the line at 1st. Now they're trying to get his attention to move him over to the line. That's outside, and the count 1-1. On deck, that's Steve Yeager. Hit hard up the alley, left center, a long way to go for Cangelosi. He can't get it high off of the wall. Bounces by Bonilla and hits a double for Owen.
Well, we'll take another look at it. That ball is well stroked by Owen. Left center field. Bonilla in pursuit. Cangelosi cannot catch up with it, and watch that bounce it takes back over the head of Bonilla. And a 2-base hit for Spike Owen, his 14th double, and the 14th base hit tonight for the Mariners.
Walker's going to come in real close. Greg has got to cheat a little bit. Hewlett laying back at 3rd just a shade. As you look for the bunt here by Yeager. Outside. Dolly charging right straight in, so Yeager, as long as he's been around, you know that he took a look at how they were going to move. Guillen trying to keep Owen close at 2nd. Bunt 3rd base side, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, you just figured Dick Williams would go right to the wall here with Yeager, bunting all the way.
Now Virgil had a bit of a meeting with Spike Owen.
Well, he probably told him not to get real cute out there at 2nd base, because Guillen's really trying to jockey in behind him. We've already seen that play work before at Kansas City. And he fouls it back. One and two the count. And you have Harold Reynolds on deck. Base hit right field. Baines has one play to the plate, and they will hold the runner at third. So Yeager strokes it to right. Runners at first and third with nobody out. And here is Reynolds. And Tony La Russa going out to the mound. I tell you what, you could see something right here. I don't know if Tony's got it in his playbook or not. You might see a five-man infield.
Meanwhile, we'll take another look at Yeager's hit. He just slaps that ball. Sort of a stiff arm swing there. Slaps the ball through into right field, advancing Spike Owen to third base. Well, the outfield's got to play in very close.
And we'll see, first of all, what they want to do with Reynolds. You've got John Moses on deck. So the only man without the speed is a runner at first in Yeager. The outfield all comes in. They're bringing Bonilla in even more. A 10-10 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. Inside, 1-0 the count. Reynolds started it off in the eighth when he had a line shot in and out of the glove of Hewlett at third. But a great effort by Timmy. That's low, the count 2-0. Inside, 3-0. And you don't know whether Dick Williams would green light Reynolds right here or not. That's high, and he walks it. Second walk by Dolly, and here's Moses. Well, when you talk about the five-man infield, this is the situation. You see some managers that have used it before. What you do is you bring an outfielder with a left-hand hitter up there. You might bring an outfielder in on that first base side. You just fan the other two. Now the bases are loaded. And Dolly backs off. John Moses is 2 for 4 tonight with 2 runs scored. Curveball low, and the count 1-0. On deck, Phil Bradley. Angelosi, he's playing right in behind. He's trying to sneak in behind the runner at second base, and Steve Yeager. That's high, and it's 2-0. Dick Williams jumping out of the dugout saying something. They're yelling at Ozzie Virgil. Ellen Virgil yelling out to Yeager. They watch Cangelosi. High to left field, and this will do it. Bobby Bonilla going back, and that ball is high off of the wall. The Mariners win it 11-10. Kingdome to really believe what you saw, but it finally ends almost 4 hours old with the Mariners defeating the White Sox 11-10.